Welcome back, everybody. Tuesday night edition of Endgame Live, and we're going to start getting you ready for Week 16 because it's playoff time. No matter if you're in the first round, coming off a bye, second round, third round, or maybe just starting your playoffs, whatever. This is it. You want to win, right? I doubt there's any leagues here where you don't want to win or need to win this week. So we're going to definitely answer your questions like we always do. And let's hope that all the players that you need and want are going to be available this week. That might include Pat Mahomes. Apparently he's fine. He's good. He's practicing. Is that I don't know. I mean, I don't even know what to believe anymore. They're like, oh, it's a high ankle sprain. He's week to week. And then a day later, he's like, hey, he's practicing. It's like, look, I don't want to be one of those, right? To discredit the guy, conspiracy and shit and all this. But it's like, come on. Was it really a high ankle sprain?
I don't know. I'm still on the fence if he's going to actually start, though, because I don't think today was like a regular practice day for them. I think today was just like a walkthrough. So it's like an estimation he would have practiced in full. But it is Mahomes, so maybe they will throw him out there. I mean, that would definitely be good for fantasy if you've got guys like Xavier Worthy, DeAndre Hopkins, or especially Travis Kelce, because, oh, man, we don't want to see Carson Wentz, please.
No, all the Wentz truthers and but he would have led the team to the Super Bowl if he was healthy. Then just come on, get out.
No, he would not.
He's not still with the Eagles for a reason, or within the other couple of teams he tried to, hitch on with. Come on. I don't want to see Wentz in there, especially if I do have Kelce or any Chiefs in my fantasy lineup for the playoffs. I'll still say it. If Mahomes is out, I probably will look elsewhere for a tight end if I have Kelce. And there's some good options. I mean, not that many, but Brenton Strange in Jacksonville, he could have a very good week. We don't want to see Wentz out there. But we'll see. Like you said, this is still early in the week, so we don't want to overreact either way. But apparently he was out practicing. Now, here's what we do know. In quarterback, we're going to have a couple of changes, although these changes did already happen last week in the second half. This one makes me just a little sad, and not because I'm a Jameis Winston fan, because I really am not. Again, Miami, the U, hate Florida State. I'm not a Jameis Winston fan, but I am a fan of seeing points racked up for fantasy players, and Jameis Winston's not going to do that because he's been benched for Dorian Thompson-Robinson. I don't understand the reasoning here. Do you?
I mean, I do understand the reasoning. I don't like it for fantasy, but I get the reasoning because, like, and I've said this before. Like, I said this with the Raiders when they announced Gardner Minshew the starter at the beginning of the season. Like, we know Jameis Winston. Like, the Browns know, we know, the whole world. Well, I shouldn't say the whole world. Some people actually do think like Jameis Winston should be a starting QB in the NFL somewhere, just like they thought Joe Flacco should be a starting QB. But a lot of people know that Jameis Winston is not the future QB of the Cleveland Browns, and so, like, and the Browns aren't fighting for the last playoff. It's not like last year where Flacco was leading them to the playoffs. They're going nowhere. Where they have like 2 wins, 3 wins. They're going nowhere very quickly. You might as well put DTR out there. I know we've seen him before, but look, we've seen guys like, not saying he's anywhere near the prospect of like a Sam Darnold or a Bryce Young or these guys, but sometimes these guys, when they get a second or third chance, that's when it clicks. It all of a sudden clicks. Maybe it'll click for him. Might as well find out. Will it? Probably not, but you might as well find out. So I get why the Browns are doing it. Because what's really, like, if you think about it from the Browns' perspective and you take fantasy out of it, what's really the downside here? He's terrible and you lose the rest of the games, and then next year you're looking for your quarterback. Well, you're going to be looking for your quarterback next year probably anyways, unless you're going to try to roll with Deshaun Watson once again, which we'll see. So, like, what do they have to lose? They don't have nothing to lose at this point.
Yeah, I mean, I guess he's still young and not too experienced. I don't know. I mean, I think I've seen enough. I mean, what is he going to show that he hasn't shown already? He had a chance earlier this year No touchdowns, 2 interceptions for his career in the games he has played, which again, not that many actual starts, but 1 touchdown, 7 interceptions, completion percentage of 51.4%. Okay, maybe he turns it around, but why would he? I don't know. But really, I'm just bitter because I just want to see Jameis Winston try to light up the Bengals. Who knows? You know what? The way things have been going here, maybe it's a switch, right? DTR is so bad in the first half. Maybe Winston comes in the second half. That wouldn't surprise me either.
Oh man, could you imagine them then benching Dorian Thompson-Robinson for Winston again? Oh man,
it wouldn't shock me. Nothing shocks me anymore. So with that said, it's DTR at least starting. If Winston was still in there, I would have said Jerry Jeudy. You keep rolling with him. How far down do you put Jeudy with this news?
Yeah, you definitely have to drop him down because it's easy to forget because of recency how bad Jerry Jeudy was for the first 7 weeks of the season. Like looking like an absolute unstartable, not even need to be rostered player. And the only thing that changed, it's not like Jerry Jeudy woke up one morning and was like, oh, now I know how to play football. No, what changed was Jameis Winston, right? What changed was Jameis Winston, but not just Jameis Winston, because for some reason, when it's not Deshaun Watson or Dorian Thompson-Robinson, the Browns play just like ridiculously fast. They're like, let's just run as many plays as we can humanly possibly run. Screw our defense. I don't care if our defense is out there for 40 minutes. Let's just run. When it's Dorian Thompson-Robinson and Deshaun Watson, they're like, okay, let's go as slow as we possibly can. Let's let the play clock. Like, why? I don't understand. Like, what? So it's not just the fact that, like, it's Jameis. It's the fact that this is what actually worries me for the Browns skill players like Njoku, Jeudy, to a lesser degree, Tillman, Jerome Ford, that they're not going to play. They're not going to have nearly as many plays and snaps. And I think that's an underrated thing not a lot of people think about when they think about fantasy. You think about it, if a team runs 80 snaps, 80 plays, that's 80 opportunities for fantasy points. Whereas if another team runs like 50 because they're barely, they're playing very slow or maybe they don't have the ball very much, that's not as many opportunities. So that's another thing that worries me. And then, of course, what also worries me is that Dorian Thompson-Robinson is terrible and barely completes half his passes. So, yeah, I'm not going to knock Jeudy down like back into the unstartable range, at least not yet. But I'm going to knock him down into the solid range. But I would be very nervous if I had to start Jerry Jeudy this week. Honestly, I think you got to roll them. I think you got to do it. But man, I would be nervous.
Yeah, exactly. And that's just what's so frustrating is that you have to even worry about this now when Jeudy should have been a guy. Now you just, okay, I got him. I feel good enough about him. He's in my lineup. And now you just don't know. And that goes probably twofold for all the other Browns players that you just mentioned. And then Njoku if he comes back. But now what do you do? So, and I already say this because I already see an Njoku question, but we'll get to that in a minute. Yeah. Really aggravating. This one, also another quarterback change in Tennessee. We've seen this before. We've seen it again. Maybe this will be the last time we see Will Levis hit the bench because he might not ever get off the bench again. But he's been benched, so we'll get Mason Rudolph back. I know better than to ask whether this makes you feel any better about Calvin Ridley. I think you're pretty much done with Calvin Ridley as long as he's a Titan.
Yeah, I'm probably going to be done. I might be done with Calvin Ridley forever, to be honest. Let's not forget he's going to be 30 years old, which is shocking. It doesn't feel like he's been in the league that long because he was out of the league for a year and came into the league kind of at a late age. But yeah, maybe Mason Rudolph unlocks him. But man, is that a risk you really want to take? I don't think he's like an absolute bench. But I think he's more of like a flex play this week.
Yeah, he should have smashed last week. Obviously, Will Levis held him back. We've seen Mason Rudolph enough. And look, he did last year, propped up George Pickens for a couple of games. This year, propped up Calvin Ridley for a couple of games. And then that's it, right? Like, I've used it all up. The tank is empty. So,
yes.
we'll see. Maybe he stored up some reserves in the last couple of weeks when he wasn't playing. But for what it's worth, no more Will Levis this week. You got to wonder if the Titans now are going to be in the running for quarterback to draft. I mean, I think they should be, but we'll see. And speaking of George Pickens, just worth mentioning again, only Tuesday, but there's a couple of teams just like with the Chiefs that play on Saturday. And so the Steelers had a sort of practice today, and George Pickens listed as a DNP. Are you not worried about his availability? Because just when he had gotten unlocked by Russell Wilson, now all of a sudden this could be a third straight game he misses.
Yeah, I mean, I'm worried. I'm not so worried that he didn't practice on a Tuesday, although did they play Saturday or Sunday? I know we got Saturday games. They might be one of the Saturday games. I forget. Yeah, I think they are, right? Ravens, Steelers,
yeah, they
Saturday.
are the second Saturday game.
So this is like their Wednesday. So I'm not totally worried yet. But at the same time, you can't feel good. I mean, you would have liked to see him at least get a limited in or something. So we'll see tomorrow. Tomorrow will be the big day. If he practices tomorrow, then maybe there's a chance. If he doesn't, yeah, probably going to have to pivot somewhere else.
Yeah. So just something to keep an eye on for now. I mean, obviously this isn't serious enough. He's missed a couple games already. If he's still either limited or not practicing tomorrow, it's going to be definitely more worrisome. But we'll see. We still got some week left, and still have 2 more days until we have actual football for Week 16. Broncos, Chargers, I don't know exactly how high scoring it's going to be, but it's football. Football's football. Make sure you get your lineups and your decisions in nice and early. So we're going to help you with your questions. Waivers run tonight in a lot of leagues. We've got some questions already on DraftLane about the waiver wire. So things change quickly. Look, I'll just come out and say I thought Jameis Winston would still be the starter. He's not. So don't pick up Jameis Winston. You might need a different quarterback to go to, whatever it is. But we'll see. Now, also, before we get to your questions, I want to remind you, you couldn't tell by the bright yellow shirt I'm wearing, we partner with Underdog. And I know most of you are already on Underdog. You tried Underdog. You can still sign up for Underdog because it's never too late. Use code ENDGAME. You're going to get a free pick no matter when you sign up. And look, not just for NFL, NBA season will roll on well past NFL season. Bowl games, if you're into the bowl games, you get all sorts of pick'ems for those that are coming up pretty soon already. So you get a free pick, though, when you sign up. You also get up to $1,000 of bonus cash for your first deposit. They'll match 50% of it, but make sure you use code ENDGAME when you sign up. Try Underdog. And also, try DraftLane. It's our app. It's free. Download it from the App Store or the Google Play Store, and you can ask your questions to us. Start sit, waiver trade, whatever you got, let us know on the DraftLane app. And then CR is letting us know from Germany. What's up?
What's up?
Deep League, half PPR. There's the Njoku question. The fence about Strange. Add the Falcons defense, have the Chargers, get McMillan. Okay, so trying to make good use of the last $20 of FAAB.
Yeah, you might as well, right? I mean, we got 1 week left. I would only. So I was actually talking to Gus about this in the Discord, and he's like, "Well, should I pick up like Justice Hill? Like I need, like I have the Detroit Lions defense. I could pick up like the Falcons defense, but I could also instead pick up Justice Hill, and then because my opponent only has like Najee and somebody else not very good, and I'm worried he might pick up Justice Hill. I'm like, are you really worried if he picks up Justice Hill? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
First of all, let him pick up Justice Hill and play him against you if he wants. But second of all, it's more important. Like, this is really the last week where bench even matters. This is it. Next week, you could literally like not even have a bench and be okay. I mean, you don't want to drop good players on your bench because you don't want your potential opponent to pick them up if they need them. But what I mean is like, you don't need a bench. You don't need depth. You don't need like potential lottery tickets. So What I would say about McMillan is if McMillan is never cracking your lineup, like if McMillan is your wide receiver 5, wide receiver 6, and he's just there for just, like whatever, because he's had 2 games in a row and you're supposed to pick him up because that's what, our waiver video said, and every waiver video says, and every waiver article says, you don't need him. Like, you know what I mean? You don't need him. And I hope you don't need McMillan if you're, one of the last 4 teams standing. I would pick up the Falcons, though. I mean, the Falcons just help people advance. Almost pulled off the most ridiculous comeback in my fantasy life with the Falcons. Came up 3 points short. Unbelievable. And they get the Giants this week against either Tommy DeVito, less than 100% Drew Lock, or Tim Boyle. So yeah, get the Falcons. Get them. Drop, I don't know, like drop 7, 8, drop $10 if you have to. Like there's no FAAB isn't going to help you once the season's over. And then I would also probably pick up Strange because I don't feel great about Njoku now with DTR. Like I'm sure Njoku will still have, like, will be okay. Like I don't think Njoku will kill you, but he doesn't have that upside anymore.
Yeah, I think Strange's got to be your first priority because even if Njoku does play, exactly, that upside is gone. And Strange has a great matchup. The defense, look, actually, as bad as they were last week, the Chargers are not a bad option at defense this week either. The Broncos, Bo Nix, like I said, 3 interceptions last week, 2 interceptions the week before, not looking very good. I don't think it's going to be a high-scoring game. So I don't think you have to put up major FAAB to get the Falcons. I would prioritize Strange first. But like you said, McMillan, sure, if you can get him cheap for nothing or $1 or $2, but exactly. Someone had asked on Draft Lane, I need to pick up whatever it was. Can I drop Braylon Allen, Blake Corum, Trey Benson? Look, at this point, you got 1 week left. And then if Kyron Williams is still healthy after this week, what good is Blake Corum to you? Nothing. Because again, this is assuming you're playing your championship next week, and week 18 doesn't matter. But then after that, who cares? Blake Corum does nothing for you. Braylon Allen is droppable. Like, forget it. Breece Hall is going to play this week. There's no point having Braylon Allen anymore. So you can probably drop all your handcuffs for sure after this week, and you can drop probably all but maybe one anyways this week. So that leads to, it always leads back to fantasy football is pain. Opponent in championship lost Monty and Sincere. I'm the only one left with FAAB, and it's $2.
There you go. But you know what? This is how you use it. You bid one on each guy, and you guarantee you get them. And now your opponent's gonna have to go out there and pick up. I don't even know who's gonna have to pick up, like Ray Davis, something like that. Gamble on a guy like that. Why not?
I will say this. I know it's some points throughout the season, there's a player who were like, that's it. Somebody dropped a player, a stud player because they were angry, or you're like, spend it all. I always like to leave at least $1 or $2 just for situations like this or emergencies. I mean, 5 of your guys get hurt, within the span of 2 weeks. It's always nice to have at least $1 or $2 in reserve. So I do like that, but I'm a big fan of the blocking strategy here.
Yes.
NTY, what is up? Tempting PPR, waiver priority, needs tight end and defense. Okay, so look into the Bengals first, then either get Strange or Noah Gray. I think it's clearly Strange over Gray.
I mean, it's clearly Strange, and this is another thing you can do when you're trying to decide how to prioritize. I mean, obviously every league is different, and in some leagues you're going to have people who are eliminated or still going to make waiver wire ads, which I think is ridiculous. But you can look at like the other teams that are, because there should only be 3 teams alive outside of yours, right? So you can look at the other 3 teams, and like if they have, Trey McBride, Brock Bowers, whoever else is good at tight, who else is good at tight end? Like if they have Jonnu Smith or somebody, like, they're not, they don't need a tight end, then maybe you can prioritize the Bengals first. Because it's like, okay, none of my opponents need a tight end. They're probably not going to go pick up Brandon Strange, right? Like only people who are picking up Brenton Strange are people who need a tight end. Like no one with Trey McBride's like, oh, I need to go get Brenton Strange.
Right.
So you can look at that too and kind of prioritize. Now on the flip side, if there's another team in your league, like maybe there's a team with David Njoku who's a little nervous now or something, then maybe you got to prioritize Strange first. But it's definitely Strange over Gray.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even, again, well, we don't know with Mahomes. We'll see if he plays. But even if Mahomes does play through the ankle sprain, I still don't feel great about Kelsey. I'm not going to feel great about Noah Gray. So Strange is definitely somebody you want to pick up. And it's a 10-teamer too. Like you said, how many teams really need a tight end that are left?
Right.
The fact that we just talked about the Falcons and Bengals defenses as strong ads, this just goes to show you it's all about the matchup. These are not good defenses, but man, when you go against Tommy DeVito / Tim Boyle / whoever and DTR, that's it. Will Levis, well, sadly we can't stream against Will Levis anymore.
Yeah, I don't mind streaming against Mason Rudolph though.
Well, yeah, that's not too bad. NTY again needs a flex. Thielen, Keenan, Pollard.
Pretty sure it's Keenan here. Yeah, Keenan against the Lions. What did he do last time they played the Lions? Like 2 touchdowns. Lions, one of the worst against. They currently are 4th, giving up the 4th most points to slot wide receivers. Yeah, it's Keenan.
It is Keenan. I mean, wound up barely at the end with a pretty nice game. Thielen is still fine. I think he does still have a floor, but Keenan definitely has a higher ceiling. I think Pollard is going to be a good start this week, but PPR, Keenan still has more upside. All right, there you go. Good luck. And then Mr. Boomer is in the house. Needs a flex. I mean, is this really even a question?
I mean, it's got to be Ladd. Come on, Boomer.
Yeah, besides that, it should be Ladd anyways. Come on, this is your boy.
Exactly. What are we doing here, Boomer?
Waiver wire available. I mean, I don't know. Go Ford just to have Ford, and you could drop Tillman or McMillan.
Yeah, I guess. I mean,
not liking Ladd versus Denver. Man, Ladd will be fine.
Yeah, here's the thing. So I know the wide receiver video hasn't dropped, but talk about this tomorrow. Yeah, I know. Not a great matchup here against Denver, but Pat Surtain, who first of all I don't think is going to be like shadowing Ladd McConkey because Ladd basically pretty much plays out of the slot. But he's dealing with an ankle injury. He might not even play. So, yeah, I'm just firing up Ladd.
Right. Yeah, a couple things. First of all, you just said the Surtain injury. Second of all, Ladd mostly in the slot. Wouldn't get a lot of him anyways. And Denver over the last couple of weeks, their defense hasn't been quite as strong against the pass. But come on, it's Ladd. But the other thing is, I mean, you're saying you're not liking Ladd. Are you really liking Josh Downs or Isaiah Pacheco after last week? Are we ever liking Elijah Moore again?
No.
None of these guys. None of these guys have the upside of Ladd. So it's Ladd. And then defense making a bid for Atlanta. Thinking maybe Colts or Titans. Those teams play each other. I mean,
yeah, that's fine. Hopefully you get Atlanta.
Yeah.
Man, it was frustrating because, well, maybe that's why Atlanta went off because you dropped them. Didn't he have Atlanta? And then he's like, Washington's available. And I'm pretty sure I said, go get Washington. They get Jake Haener, which was looking good until they put Spencer Rattler in. And then somehow the Commanders' defense decided, like, oh, let's stop playing defense. It was frustrating.
Yeah. All right. Well, just make sure you let us know who you do wind up starting so we can avoid them.
Right.
Scott Camper, it's championship time. All right. Has been watching all season. Awesome. Week 1 of 2. All right. Another 2-weeker. Hartz, Bijan, Connor, AJB, Nico, Chase Brown. On the bench is Tyreek and Mixon.
Yeah, I know on the running back video we have Mixon as like a no doubt must start and Connor not. I kind of wish we took Mixon out of the no doubt must starts, honestly.
Yep.
Because I would play Connor over Mixon this week for sure.
Yep, it's exactly right. And it's funny because I don't know, it'll probably come out tomorrow or the next day, I don't remember. But every once in a while on the Fantasy Pros, they ask a thing and they're like, so who do you think is the biggest bust? Who do you think is the biggest sleeper? So I actually I did my answer. I put Joe Mixon. I think he's going to bust this week. So that'll probably come out tomorrow. But exactly, he hasn't been good. Less than 50 yards rushing in 3 of the last 5 games. It's literally the toughest matchup possible. Chiefs are number 1 against running backs in terms of fantasy points per game. And also you brought up an excellent point in terms of pace of play, something that we don't really think about. And it's not necessarily predictive of, fantasy production, but it does matter because, it's like you get that feel like, these two teams, like, I don't feel like it's going to be a high scoring game. By that, you mean like the offenses aren't going to run a lot of plays and they're not going to, be going at each other. It's going to be a slow pace of play. That's like, you don't verbalize it that way, but that's what it is. Like the Lions and the Bills. They were just going at each other, right? It was a ton of offense. If Mahomes is out, I don't think Texans-Chiefs is going to be a very high-scoring game at all. So I'm worried about Mixon. So I'm keeping Mixon on the bench. And look, if you have Nico and AJB, I'm fine benching Tyreek.
Oh, yeah. After last week, no. No way could I do it. No way.
Yep. But good luck, Scott. I think you got a good lineup. You definitely have a good team. Very good. Mike Callahan in half PPR 10. Judy, Jennings, Ridley, Garrett, or Thielen?
I think I have Garrett Wilson. Man, Judy is going to... This should just be Judy.
Yeah.
But I think I'm just going to go Garrett Wilson now against the Rams. I mean, I know Judy gets the Bengals, but he also gets Dorian Thompson-Robinson. I mean, you're really what you really are hoping with Judy is that like DTR gets benched at half. But I mean, come on, like I don't think Stefanski's going to do that. I don't think Stefanski's going to bench Jameis Winston, put DTR in, and then if they're doing terrible, bench DTR for Jameis Winston again. It's like, what are we doing here? So. I don't know.
Could get hurt. Could get hurt. Maybe DTR with an ankle. Who knows?
There you go. But is that the process you're using for your fantasy football? Like
I'm gonna bet on the injury in the first quarter.
Maybe he'll get hurt and they'll have to play Winston. I think I just go Garrett Wilson here. Oh man.
This is why it's so frustrating. Like I said, I do not actually like Jameis Winston at all. But if it was him, it would easily be Judy here.
Yes. 100%.
And now it's not easily, but it's not Judy. I would go Garrett Wilson. Yeah. So annoying. Steven put up 212. Wow, very nice. Fixed my fridge by replacing the compressor relay myself. That's another win. That's actually more impressive. Actually.
Yeah, that's way more impressive. Well done. Congratulations.
Yeah, I feel like I'm pretty good at analyzing stats for fantasy football, but the little handle on the the lever for the what's it called? The faucet, for my sink, the kitchen sink fell off. I can't screw it back on. I can't figure it out. It's just like I know there's a thing there and it goes in, but I'm just like, it's fine. I can figure out how to turn it on. If I can't get McMillan, is Christian Watson worthwhile?
Yeah, sure. I mean, are you really starting either of those guys?
He's a.
I mean, you scored 212. I'm guessing you have a pretty stacked team. Like, are you ever putting? But sure, grab one of them.
Yeah, I mean, it's the Saints. Terry McMillan just torched them. Watson isn't quite McLaurin. Did I say McMillan? McLaurin just torched them.
Terry McMillan.
Terry McMillan. That's his cousin. No, McLaurin just torched the Saints. Watson could have a decent game, but hopefully you don't have to start him. But honestly, congrats on the fridge. Benny, what's up, Benny?
What's
Been
up?
active today. Had a lot of chats in the Discord. Current starters are Lamar, Kyron, Sharps. If Walker's out, London, Flowers, McMillan, Muth, and then Tracy at the flex. Would you flex Tracy or Harrison? It's not much better.
Oh man,
Harrison.
Oh, Harrison. Harrison got to be one of the biggest busts of the year for sure.
Yep,
biggest busts of the year. But man, Tracy gets the Falcons. Falcons have actually been good against the run. And we saw an annoying amount of Devin Singletary last week. And in fact, I would say more than an annoying amount. I mean, Harrison gets the Panthers, but I don't know. It's full PPR. I'll just roll with Harrison. I do not feel good about Tracy. I mean, I don't feel good about Harrison either, but yeah, I'll just roll with Harrison.
Yeah, at least the matchup is good. At least we know he'll get targeted. So yeah, this leads to another question, which because Big Man Fishing, what's up? Says second question. I never saw a first question, but okay. Would you drop Harrison for McMillan?
I don't think so. I mean, are you actually going to start McMillan this week? Like, if you
have to.
Yeah, exactly. So,
and I say that too because if I remember, Big Man, he's in an 18 league and he's got a pretty good team. Like, he shouldn't have to start either of these guys.
Right. I mean, you probably can get away if you are in an 8-team league. You probably can get away with dropping Harrison and no one will pick him up. But I mean, I'd be surprised if anybody in your league even picks up McMillan if it's an 8-team.
Well, yeah, that's true. They probably won't. Yeah, no, I don't think so. I don't think you need to do this. I don't know if you did. Maybe later put a first question. If you did, and we'll put it up. But let's do Samantha Fluger was next. Hello. All right. So in the playoffs, congrats. Big stakes because the first round is playing the husband. Who's in first place? Like, this is like one of those games where it's not about the championship. This is it, right? This is your championship. You win this game, then the next week is almost incidental. Have Nixon Purdy, but Goff is on waivers.
I mean, I know I'm not playing Knicks.
Yeah. Not just because he's looked really bad the last 2 weeks, but it's not really a great matchup. Of course, Goff was ridiculous last week. This is a much different matchup.
Yeah, he gets the Bears, toughest against QBs, and it's in Chicago. But Purdy gets the Dolphins, who are second toughest against QBs. But the good news for Purdy is it's in Miami, so there's no weather here. There's no weather issues. Or at least there shouldn't be.
That's true.
Shouldn't be. Oh, man. I know it's tough, but look, we just did this with Sam Darnold, right? Sam Darnold had a monster game in week 14, and then everybody was like, do I have to start Sam Darnold? Do I have to start Sam Darnold? Who'd they just play? The Bears. And what did Sam Darnold just do? Not a whole lot.
Right.
And that was in Minnesota, in the nice, comfy, perfect temperature dome. Now we're talking about in Chicago. I think I'm just going to go Purdy here.
Yeah, between these three, I think it's Purdy, and I'm gonna say something I hate, but again, the goal here is to help you win. If Goff is available, right? It's possible that you have another option on waivers that might be better this week. Yeah. And, technically Aaron Rodgers might be in a good spot. He's been throwing the ball a lot the last 2 weeks. So maybe if he's available, you go Rodgers. Honestly,
I would. I honestly would, sadly.
Or if he's not, I mean, I don't know. Is it getting too deep if we go Mac? I was going to say Mac Jones. Aiden O'Connell.
Yeah, I think that's too deep.
That might be too.
I know he's got a great matchup, but man, still Aiden O'Connell. I'd rather have Brock Purdy. He's got Kittle. He's got Jennings. He's got whatever Debo gives him. He's still got Garendo. Again, it's in Miami, so there's no weather concerns. I'm just gonna go Purdy, but yeah, I would go Rodgers over all of them if he's available. Sadly.
All right. Well, good luck either way. Hopefully you get the win. What's up, Gabriel? Speaking of Goff, he said his hopes and dreams was crushed. Not just Goff, Devontae and Evans. Wow. Yeah. This is again. It didn't really matter who else was on that team.
No, exactly. There's just some weeks where you run into basically the fantasy football nuts, right? Like just the highest scoring players, and there's nothing you can do. That's the cruelty of the head-to-head format.
That's the most annoying thing about it is you could have done all the work and made all the best moves and have the best team, and it doesn't matter because you can't play defense on fantasies.
Right.
Well, Merry Christmas, and stick around again, even if you're out of it. Hang around. We're gonna do some Dynasty content, some best ball off season, so don't be a stranger. Paul P. Semifinal week, 12-teamer, PPR pick 2. Mooney, Myers, McMillan, Miller. Possibly. Do we think Walker plays?
Yeah, I think we see Walker this week. I don't think I love it, but I think we see Walker this week. And I actually think we are going to see Aiden O'Connell. It sounds encouraging for him. So I am going to fire up Jacoby Myers relatively confidently this week. I know it's going to be hard after last night, but that was Desmond Ridder. He gets the Jags this week. I'm gonna fire up Jacoby for sure here. Yeah. I think Kendre Miller would be number 2 for me if Kamara is out, like completely out. Otherwise, I'd probably go Mooney, which I know again. Well, Mooney's now we're hearing now Kirk Cousins is not getting the vote of confidence from Raheem Morris. So, man, we might be looking at the rookie, and then we really have no idea what to do with this wide receiver group. If that's the case, I might just go Myers McMillan.
If they put Penix in there, I would feel better about Mooney, but
I don't know.
Well,
I know Kirk Cousins has been bad, but we're talking about a rookie making his first ever start. Oh boy.
Right, but because he is, which again makes it so weird that of all the teams that took him, it was the Falcons. He is the most pro-ready quarterback. I mean, he's older, he's experienced. I mean, but anyways, there are a lot of ifs here. Yes. So if Aiden O'Connell plays, I would go Jacoby Myers. If Kamara doesn't play, yes, go Kendre Miller. If one of those two things doesn't happen, and if Walker doesn't play, then you go Sharp. If Kirk Cousins is still the quarterback, I'm not playing Mooney. I'm just not. I mean, it was 0, right? 0 yesterday.
0. But I mean, again, how good has Mooney been all year? Like everybody's allowed a down week.
Well, but that's the problem. It's not him. He's fine. It's Kirk Cousins has gone like this, like precipitous drop. I'm not even encouraged by, well, maybe they'll put Penix in, because Morris didn't say we need to get better at the quarterback position. He said we need him to get better. Like, it's still him. I think he's still the guy no matter what, because they paid him. Just like Deshaun Watson was still the guy no matter what.
I mean, he's probably still the guy because they're still in it and they're still fighting. And again, do you want to, like, with your season on the line, do you want to put in a rookie making his first start? But like, I know what you're saying about Cousins. Trust me, Cousins, I know how bad Cousins has been, but let's not forget, just 2 weeks ago, Darnell Mooney had 6 for 142. He had a few weeks before that, he had 5 for 96, 5 for 88, 4 for 86 with a touchdown. So I get it. I get being nervous when a guy has a 0, but it's like, but at the same time, it's like I try to like think like, okay. Like, but this guy's been mostly good most of the year. So like, like Drake London, if it wasn't for that touchdown, was really also terrible last night. He only had 3 catches for like 50 yards. One of them happened to be a 30-yard touchdown. If he didn't have that 30-yard touchdown, which these days feels like a miracle, he would have been almost just as bad. So, yeah. A lot of ifs here, though.
All right, Paul. I know that's a lot of information to digest, but hopefully that does help. And then
Probably
check
too
back
much.
in. He's just like, I don't know now. He's just confused.
Right.
Check back later in the week, and we'll see if you need to. Cody, what's up? Which, yeah, we saw that glorious trophy in the Discord. Now focusing on the 12-teamer. Next week is the number 1. Falcons, Coker, Ford, Hollywood on waivers in that order.
I mean, sure. Are you ever? Falcons D number 1, yes, because you're probably starting them this week if you get them. So yes, anybody that is going to instantly be in your starting lineup this week has to be the priority. That's got to be the priority.
Right.
Bench stashes, they go to the bottom because again, next week no bench stat. I'm not saying drop your whole bench, but I'm saying like you're not stashing anybody next week for week 18. So yeah, if you're gonna if there's a better chance that you would play Ford over Coker, like maybe you don't really have a good RB3 anymore. Maybe you have 2 good RBs, but your RB3 is injured and your RB4 is terrible. Like, you know what I mean? Maybe you had Sincere McCormick or something. I would prioritize Ford because you never know what could happen this week. You might need Ford next week. But at the same time, if Coker potentially could be a flex for you, get Coker. Just have the mindset of who's most likely to actually crack my lineup at some point, if at all.
Right. This is the adjustment. We have to stop thinking long term. There is no long term.
No.
This week only, and maybe next week, sure. And I will say Hollywood, I know I mentioned him at the end, but I did say for deeper leagues, like stash for deeper leagues. 12-team is, I mean, look, if there's some bum on your bench you can drop, sure, that's fine. But yeah, I would switch Ford and Coker. Joe made it to the semifinals, well, in 2 leagues, despite having Cooper Kupp. There you go.
Wow. Yep, that's nice. Now, oh man, Cooper Kupp's going to be a tough one this week.
Yeah, and then Brian, you talked about that Falcons defense and miracle comebacks. This is where Brian comes in, but now needs Mason Rudolph.
Oh boy, I mean, you know, Brian. I will say this: in Superflex, you don't have to start a quarterback.
This is true.
You do not have to Superflex a quarterback.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. Praying for the defense, any defense, to have a big game is one thing. Pinning your hopes on Mason Rudolph, I don't know. That's like a different level.
Yeah, that's stressful. That is stress right there.
Nemesis. How would you rank these guys? Thielen, Downs, Reed, and QJ. Who to start? He says he has Evans, Thielen, and QJ in at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, just out of pure spite, that's probably how I would do it too, just because I don't want to play Jaden Reed and risk the 0 here. Although I will say this is, I mean, again, if Surtain is out, that certainly helps QJ. And there is a good chance Surtain is out because he hurt his ankle and now they play on Thursday. So not a lot of time to recover from that ankle injury. But this is very risky for QJ this week because it is the Broncos. So yeah, but it's also Jaden Reed is very risky every week just because he's Jaden Reed.
Yeah, I mean, I think you kind of have it right here. Nemesis, Evans, of course. Thielen is going to be second out of these. I mean, the Downs should be more reliable, but just don't think he is. Rick Eichelberger, Final 4. Let's go. That's right. Keep it going. Bizzleman in the playoffs. 1 receiver, 1 running back, 1 flex. Jennings, Flowers, Metcalf, Downs, Dowdle, B-Rob, and Sharp. Just note all of them.
I mean, man, what has happened to DK Metcalf? What has happened to Zay Flowers? What has happened to these guys? Earlier in the year, it looked like these guys were going to carry your team. They were going to carry your team, and they have just disappeared over the last month and a half. Just gone. They're like that. They're like that GIF where the guy goes like this and he like fades away. That's like DK Metcalf and Zay Flowers in fantasy this year.
Yeah,
they fade away. Oh, what has happened to these guys? Man, I'm just gonna say right now, Dowdle and Brian Robinson are gonna be my running back and flex. I don't want to start more than one of these wide receivers, honestly. Dowdle and Brian Robinson, and then I think I'm gonna go Jennings here, because again, if I know he just killed us, but if you take out the Brandon Allen game, you take out the snow game, and you take out that last game with the rain, he's been pretty good. And I know Miami is tough; they are a tough defense, they are a tough secondary, but there shouldn't be any weather concerns here. I just feel like he at least has upside. He's got Brock Purdy. He's in this 49ers offense. Like Flowers and Metcalf, oh man, they just don't do it for me anymore. So I'm going to go Jennings at wide receiver with Dowdle and B-Rob at running back and flex.
Yeah, I'm good with Jennings at receiver. I mean, you can't play Downs here. Flowers is the weird one. It's because there's no real reason. You can't put your finger on like what has changed. And I'm looking at it. His target share has not dropped at all. He's still getting just as many targets. He just hasn't hit on those big plays. It's like when they're looking in the end zone, it's Rashad Bateman time. So it's odd. And I still feel like there's going to be a big Zay Flowers game at some point soon. I don't know if it's going to be against the Steelers though, because the last time they played the Steelers, they did not have a big game, and it's not a great spot. So let's say Jennings. I don't think Dowdle will nearly go off like he did last week, but he's still startable. And then B-Rob. So, yeah. In lockstep here. Red Sox slugger loves the advice, but wants more.
Okay.
Dalton Kincaid, Brenton Strange, Tucker Kraft, or Jake Ferguson.
I think, man, I'm worried I'm going to be irrationally high on Brenton Strange. But, man, he gets the Raiders this week. Look. Kyle Pitts didn't have a big game against the Raiders, but he did something, and Kyle Pitts hasn't done anything.
Yeah. Just getting a catch is a miracle for him.
I think I'm going to go Strange here. Man, Ferguson, what's going on with Ferguson? 2 smash matchups has done nothing. He's got another great matchup, but I don't even care.
No.
Like Kraft could score. I think I've got to go Strange here against the Raiders.
Definitely non Strange. I mean, it's not just last week chasing the targets from last week. He's going to get targeted. But again, like I said, clearly the best matchup here. It's a smash spot. So let's go Strange. And then Sam Piazza going against Josh Allen in its championship week.
Oh, man. Yeah,
okay.
There can be nothing more terrifying in fantasy than going against a team with Josh Allen right now. That's got to be the most terrifying thing.
Well, maybe this comes close. Having Kyler Murray as your quarterback.
Yeah, that is definitely terrifying. I mean, when your choices are Kyler or Bo Nix, that's also terrifying. But I think you got to go Kyler here. I know he's been bad, but so is Bo Nix.
Yeah,
Bo Nix, short week on the road against the Chargers. Kyler at least gets the Panthers. I mean, if nothing else, Kyler should be able to run on them at least run for a touchdown or something. Kyler, I think you got to go Kyler, but. Yeah, I don't think he's going to go toe to toe with Josh Allen, unfortunately.
I will say this, you think Lions obviously one of the best teams in the league, Josh Allen may not go off and he goes off. The Patriots are horrible, but then maybe that means Josh Allen doesn't really have to do that much. You know what I mean? I mean, really, he might take the foot off the gas pedal a little bit, right? Like, okay, we'll hand it off for more. I'm not going to go super today.
After he already has what two passing touchdowns and 2 rushing touchdowns, he's like, all right, I'm done. I'll take it. I like, you know what? I do appreciate that you're trying to make Sam feel a little better, though. I do appreciate that.
Trying to give the man some hope. Look, I'm going to go Kyler here, then Ridley or McMillan. I don't know. I think you still have to go. You have to go with the target share. You have to go with the guy who's the number 1 receiver. I think it is Mason Rudolph.
Yeah, at least it's Mason. At least it's Mason Rudolph.
Famous last words.
Yeah, I think you got to go Ridley.
All right. Good luck, Sam. I like the way Jenga has phrased this. Have Bowers, and I'm scared, but it sounds like we're getting Aiden O'Connell back this week. If it was Desmond Ridder, I might say, yeah, go look elsewhere, because that was brutal last night. I mean, that was brutal. Yeah. Look, there are not that many tight ends. You really should feel better about than Bowers. But yeah, if Aiden O'Connell will still well, not still. If he's going to be back at quarterback, you still go Bowers. Zachary Savoy needs 2 running backs between Gibbs, Connor, Garendo, Achane.
Man,
this is tricky. I know, because I know exactly what you're thinking, because it's exactly what I'm thinking.
Well, we have a flex here, so we might start Gibbs, Connors, and Achane.
Okay.
I think I got to go Gibbs, Gibbs. I mean, who do we put over? Like, if you were ranking running backs this week, who do you have over Gibbs? Saquon?
Saquon. Let me see. Who the Falcons get? The Giants? Yeah, I think I'll still go Bijan. Chase Brown.
Yeah, Bijan.
That's probably it.
Maybe Chase Brown. Maybe Jacobs against the Saints.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like it, right? And even then, you could make a case for Gibbs over one. I mean, man, we're talking about Gibbs against the Bears, terrible run defense with no Monty. Gibbs could go nuts. I think you got to play Gibbs. Connor against the Panthers, you got to play. But I think, like, Achane also in a very good spot. The 49ers run defense has not been very good this year, and he catches a ton of passes. But maybe we're going to flex one of these guys. So I'm going to say Gibbs Achane right now because you're wide. Yeah, we're probably going to flex one of these guys looking at your wide receivers.
Yeah, definitely. We don't even know if Pickens is going to play, as we talked about. Amari, Keon, I don't think either are playable. So you kind of have to go to Dave Flowers and Juwan.
There's like Cooper Kupp getting a 0 and Darnell Mooney getting a 0, and you're still like, well, you still might need to start these guys. Then there's Amari Cooper getting a 0 after his one random 14 target game out of, like, that's going to go down as the most random game of the entire season for any player. Like, without a doubt. Like, where did that come from? You cannot start. You don't even have to have Amari Cooper on your team. You're never going to start. I'll go Jennings, Zay Flowers here. And then, yeah, I'll flex Connor.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of glad your receivers aren't that great. So that way we can play all 3 of those running backs.
Yeah.
One tight end, Kraft or Jonnu.
I think you got to go Jonnu. Jonnu has not had a bad game in like 5 weeks or something. Like, how do you can't bench Jonnu right now?
Yeah. And then Broncos, Steelers, or Lions? The Steelers, another brutal matchup.
Can't go Steelers against Ravens. You can't. I guess if the Lions were playing like Desmond Ridder or somebody like that, you could start them. But that defense is gutted right now. I mean, I know it's Caleb Williams, but man, I can't do it. Just give me the Broncos against the Chargers.
Yeah, Chargers have not been scoring much lately. Justin Herbert clearly not healthy, so
right.
And they have no running game. Let's go Broncos. SoFly has a question. Jennings, Hill, Judy. Pick one.
Why can't this just be Judy and move on? Man.
Yep.
But I might still just go Judy here, honestly. I mean, this is not a good matchup for Tyreek Hill against the 49ers. And I do like Jennings, but it is a tough matchup against the Dolphins. I think I'm just going to go Judy and take my chances. It's the Bengals. I'll just gamble on Judy here. He's been so good. Let's just go Judy. Man.
Go Judy and hope for the early ankle sprain from DTR. Needs to. Allen, Hopkins, Jennings, or Myers?
Assuming that's Keenan Allen, I'm going to go Keenan Allen and Jacoby Myers.
Yep. There you go. And then G, 10-man PPR got this team. I think he just likes to show off his team. Look what I got. Give me a starting lineup, he says.
Okay, Hurts, Jefferson, Chase. Somehow Puka, not even a starting wide receiver for you. I'm going to go Gibbs, Chase Brown at running back, actually. I'm going to bench Henry and Kyron because this team is ridiculous. And if there's a flex, ooh. Oh, man. I mean, I almost just want to instantly say Puka, and I probably should say Puka. But it is on the road against the Jets. But it is PPR. I guess Puka, but man, I think that's close between Puka and Kyron, honestly. I think that's really close this week.
It is close.
Like I could see this being like a good but not great Puka week. You know what I mean? Like one of those like 7 catches, 80, 90 yards, but no touchdown type of games.
Well, yeah, it might not be a huge Puka week. I'm auto start mode when I see Puka. He's getting so many targets. So Puka would be my flex too. Njoku or Hawk? It's got to be Hawkinson, right?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, how good do we even feel about Hawkinson? Like,
I don't think he's going to be great or anything, but I feel better than Njoku, who now has DTR at quarterback.
Yeah, I guess it's such a good matchup for Njoku, man.
Then he says he got the Chargers, but also wants to know go Colts, Packers, or Chargers. Packers get the Saints. Chargers.
Yeah, I think Packers might be my number one defense this week or close to. I mean, look, saying a team is the number one defense is like the least confident thing I could ever say because there's so much like craziness that goes into a defense. But Packers against the Saints, yeah, give me the Packers.
Yep, agree. Let's go Packers here. And then Benny with another one. Knicks, Kyler, perhaps Cooper Rush.
I'll just go Kyler here and take what I get.
Yeah.
I don't want to trust my fantasy Cooper Rush or Bo Nix right now.
And then we have, once again, Turd Ferguson. How's it going? I'm worried about Henry.
Yeah.
Add Monty. Garendo and Ford.
Well, I could probably play Garendo over Henry, but I can't play Ford over Henry.
Yeah.
So if you need two, I'm going Garendo Henry.
Yeah, I mean, I'm worried about Henry. Of course, we all should be worried about him going against the Steelers and not having scored somehow for 3 weeks in a row. But I'm not that confident in Ford. You know what I mean? There's a line. So yeah, but Garendo is good. Jonnu over Njoku. Yeah, definitely Jonnu over Njoku.
Yeah, definitely.
Alexis Aguilar. It's conference championship. Of course, must win. 2-2 in a flex. Evans, Lamb, Garrett, Devontae, Hall, Walker, Charbs, Bucky.
All right, you're going to go Evans, Lamb at wide receiver. I think I'm just going to go Bucky, Brees Hall at running back.
Yep. And then
flex. And I know everybody's going to see this. This is how the human brain works, right? It's like Devonta Smith. Can I drop Devonta Smith? Do I even need Devonta Smith? Why do this guy's a bum? And now it's like, do I have to start Devonta Smith? Is Devonta Smith a must start? Yeah, probably somewhere in the middle. But I'm going to go Garrett Wilson over Devonta Smith, even though Devonta Smith just had a huge game. Garrett Wilson just has a way better matchup this week.
Yeah, that it turned out to be the squeaky wheel game for AJB and Devontae Smith, right? They were just like,
yeah, I guess they just decided like, okay, we'll just be like the most pass heavy team of the week.
to just to prove that they could, and they could,
right?
But it's a better matchup, definitely for Garrett Wilson. So let's go. They've been pass heavy too lately. So let's go Garrett Wilson.
Very pass heavy, like ridiculous pass heavy.
Yeah. Oliver Rosario needs help at the flex. Got Hurts. Got Kyron. Ramondre is RB2. Chase is good. I think JSN. Bowers. Oh boy. Flexing Jaden Reed. Jonnu Smith is a tight end. Steelers are the defense. Bench is Tank Dell and Josh Downs. That's it.
God, you cannot start Tank Dell. I mean, you can barely start Josh Downs, but man, Tank Dell, at least Josh Downs has some. We've seen at least Josh Downs do something this year. I mean, if the choice is between Dell and Downs, which is what it looks like here, I think I just go Downs. Pray for a touchdown.
Yeah, I was hoping it was just one flex between Reed, Dell, and Downs. It looks like it's two of those three, right?
Yeah.
Flex two.
So yeah, you got to Reed and Downs.
Reading downs.
What are you gonna do? It is what it is.
I mean, I will say it again. Check the waiver wire. There might be somebody more appealing out there if you look and see. I don't know. There's no way to know exactly who's available in your league. This might be a case where I go Jalen McMillan. Maybe Jalen Coker. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, between those two, it's going to be downs. And you could flex a running back too. If Jerome Ford or Kendrick Miller is out there, flex one of those guys.
Yep.
Adrian Michael in half, 2 receivers, Neighbors, Puka, Jennings, Thielen, Reed. See, I'm wondering how many Neighbors questions we're going to get. Probably they'll start coming in once we know who is going to be the quarterback. Not that it matters, but anyways.
Yeah, but I mean, here I'm going Neighbors, Puka pretty easily. Neighbors gets the Falcons, and I know they just shut down the Raiders, but that was Desmond Ridder. I mean, I know, okay, Tim Boyle, Tommy DeVito, Drew Lock might not be a whole lot better than Desmond Ridder, but Malik Neighbors is good enough that I'm just going to go with him and Puka.
All right. And then 2 running backs here, Mixon, Gibbs, Chuba, Sharbs, Garendo.
Oh, this one is tough. I mean, you got to start Gibbs for sure. It's between Chuba and Mixon. Again, why did we put Mixon on the no doubt must start? Why did we do that? Just blindly auto put him on there.
Yeah. It just got used to it. I mean, look, he at least gives you the floor because he has been involved as a pass catcher and touchdowns and all that. But I know I don't feel great about Mixon this week.
But man, Chuba coming up in a game where he only got 10 carries. I mean, I guess they were way behind. So
game script, yeah.
Could the Cardinals do that to him? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. I don't think I can. As much as I want to say Chuba over Mixon, I mean, Mixon has carried you to this point. Could I really bench Mixon for Chuba? I don't think I could. I don't know. I'm going to go Neighbors, Puka, Mixon, Gibbs.
And I agree. And this is why it's tough. You're like, am I really benching Mixon? I mean, no, it's probably not going to be a great game for him, but we can't guarantee a great game for Chuba. I mean, he had a great matchup last week and did nothing. So, I think when you start getting
Mixon could always have like a 2-touchdown game or something, kind of like James Cook last week, right? Like,
yeah.
Njoku, Strange, or Muth. I guess just go Strange, man. Gene Njoku for Strange, but it's DTR, and I'm not going to gamble on him twisting his ankle in the first series. So let's go Strange.
Right. And then he said later he forgot 1 flex.
Okay, well, that's good news because now we can just throw Chuba in, especially in half PPR. Or maybe, I do like Garendo too, but I think I like Chuba a little bit more against the Cardinals over Garendo. That one's close.
No consideration for Jennings?
Not in half PPR. I don't think you need to risk it when you have good running backs like that because they just give you such a high floor, but they also give you a ceiling. So I think I would go Chuba against the Cardinals over Garendo, but I mean, I will be honest, that one's really close. If you watch the running back video, I had Garendo as a very solid start, and I had Chuba as like a low-end strong start, which means like Chuba's barely in the strong starts, and Garendo's like the very top of the solid, so they're very close. But Miami's run defense has been improving over the weeks, and the Cardinals' run defense is still terrible. So I might go Chuba over Garendo. That one's very close.
Yeah, these guys are pretty close. All right, there we go, Adrian. And then Corey Jones, championship game this week. It feels early, but okay. 1 quarterback, 2 receivers, tight end and flex. Murray, Stafford, Kupp, McLaurin, Sutton, Mooney, Pickens, Devonta Smith, McBride, Bowers. You're welcome. Murray or Stafford?
All right. McBride at tight end, definitely. I'm just going to go Murray here. Stafford, this is not on the road against the Jets. If Stafford lights him up, oh well. Oh well, I'm wrong. Not going to chance it. Give me Murray. Oh, these 2 wide receivers and a flex are going to be tough. Terry against the Eagles, but I think you still got to start him. I know Sutton didn't have a huge game, but I think I still got to start Sutton. Now it's Kupp versus Smith. Kupp is going to be so tough this week. Again, it's hard. Kupp was so good all year long.
Right.
And then he wasn't. Like, how much weight do we put into that 0 versus what he did all season? But again, it is the Jets on the road. That's the other thing. If it was like a really good matchup, I'd probably just instantly just say, nah, I'm just rolling with Kupp again. But it is the Jets on the road. Man.
Yeah, it's the recency bias says it's got to be Smith, but the long view, it should be Kupp. But the last time Devontae Smith, the Eagles played Washington, he didn't do anything. He had 29 yards.
I mean, that's the thing between when you look at these two guys, Smith versus Kupp. You have one guy who was a stud almost every game he played. Like, he was a stud in all but like 1 or 2 games of the season. And then you have another guy who was like a dud for like a month straight or something, and then just randomly this week had an awesome game. And yeah, you have to fight that recency bias, right? Where it's like, well, Devonta Smith, like, man, he just went off, and Kupp just got a 0, like, but also at the same time, you do have to look at the matchups, and this is not a great spot for Kupp. Or this whole Rams passing game.
Yeah, it is not a great matchup for Kupp, but then looking at it, it's really not better for Devontae Smith. And now we get Lattimore in the mix. I'm probably just still going Kupp.
Yeah, probably should just go Kupp.
It's gonna be a tough one. Let's hope Kupp. I mean, can't do worse. Got to do better. Of the people, this one might even be tougher. This kind of stings a little bit to consider. Bench King Henry for Bucky.
Yeah, against who the Bucks, the Cowboys? Yeah, just give me Bucky. I think Bucky has just as good a chance to score a touchdown as King Henry, and probably could get more yards than King Henry, sadly.
Yep. I think you need to do this. Well, you don't need to, but it's the logical move. I know it hurts, but if you win it all, Henry still gets a ring. And then Jonnu or Strange.
I'm not benching Jonnu. There's very few tight ends I'm benching Jonnu for. He's been so good.
Right. Let's stick with Jonnu here. This one, we had the spouse matchup earlier. Now this is funny. SC Brew All-American playing my grandson, and he needs some humility.
All right, wow.
Back in this play. I like it.
Not even gonna let your grandson win, huh? Like, wow, okay.
Well, we haven't met him. Maybe he does need humility, but I'll take your word for it. PPR needs 2 receivers: Lamb, London, Sutton, or Jennings.
I'm going Lamb and Sutton here. I know Sutton didn't have a massive game, but we're talking about a guy who was so good for so long, and then just had one like not great game. I'm gonna give him a pass. I'm going Sutton and Lamb.
Yeah, go Sutton and Lamb here. I'll just tell you this. I hope it's a long time before this happens, but when I have grandchildren, I'm not going to show any mercy. I'm not going to let them win. Like, oh, look, I forgot to. No, you want to win, you earn it. You beat me. Okay, let's move on to John. Waiver wire pickup options: McMillan or Dobbs. Over any of those guys? I don't think so. I mean, I know Metcalf has been disappointing, but no.
I'm not ready to drop Metcalf.
No. Let's see. Juice still fighting. Pick 3. Devontae, Harrison, Jennings, Westbrook, Akine, Waddle, Dobbs, McConkey.
I mean, I think you got to start at Adams because it's 2024, so you have to start Adams. I think McConkey is number 2, and then I think Jennings will be number 3 for me.
Yep. Yeah, and I think the Westbrook Akine thing is done. You can drop him. God Soldier Gaming. All right. Half PPR. Needs help. Got Bucky and Ramondre. Needs help at flex. Andrews, Coleman, and Downs. Ford and Spears on waivers.
Yeah, I would rather flex Ford over all those guys. I might even rather flex Spears over those guys. Yeah, you can drop Coleman. Again, there's no need to hang on to a guy in hopes he starts coming on. Yeah, drop Coleman, get Ford, and I would flex Ford.
Get a little late for the rookie breakout for Keon Coleman. So yeah, my first reaction: drop Coleman, pick up Ford. He doesn't need help at running back. So I mean, you're definitely starting Bucky. I mean, would you start?
Yeah. I mean, I know Ramondre hasn't been great for you for fantasy, but I mean, are we going to chase that Spears game over Ramondre? And he does get the Bills, who haven't been very good against the run. I think I would go Ramondre over Spears.
Right, and so flex Ford if you pick him up. Okay, so let's do that. Drop Coleman, pick up Ford, flex Ford. Done.
Then, do you see a question for Isaiah Trexler saying we skipped him?
Let's look.
I looked. I did not see one.
If so, apologies. I do see one. All right. Sorry, Isaiah. I'm glad you pointed that out. Full PPR, Darnold to Goff.
I think I'm going to go Darnold here. I know it's hard because Goff just went nuts and Darnold didn't, but Goff again on the road against the Bears in the cold weather. I know Darnold has to go on the road to Seattle, which isn't great either, but it's still way better than the Bears. And he's got Jefferson, he's got Addison. I'm going to go Darnold.
Yeah, I'm going to go Darnold too. Goff, road Goff isn't nearly as good as home Goff. And then have Etienne and Chase. That's good. CD Higgins at receiver, also good. Nice. Pick a flex, Henry, Sutton, or Devontae.
In a full PPR, I'm just going to go with Sutton. I still believe in Sutton. I still think Sutton has that upside. Henry, nervous, and he takes a hit in PPR. And again, Devonta Smith, I don't want to just chase this one big game. So let's just go Sutton here. But you got a great team, so.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, obviously we need the win. I know it hurts to bench Henry, but I'm going Sutton too. Christian Diaz, 1984 in the semis. All right, let's keep it going. Bengals or Commanders? You can't play the Commanders. They're going against Philly.
Yeah, you got to go Bengals here. Got to go Bengals. They get whatever. Do they get what, Mason Rudolph? Yeah, go Bengals. I don't expect them to be as good. No, that was last week.
Bengals this week get the DTR and the Browns.
Oh, yeah, go Bengals. Go Bengals.
And then this is non-PPR. Going Muth or Hawkinson?
I think you got to go Muth. He's been scoring touchdowns. He's got more touchdown upside than Hawk. I think you got to go Muth.
Yeah, he is. He's on a roll. And we don't even know if Pickens is going to play still. Thought he would be back. If he's out, that's still good for Muth. Wayne, question below. Good afternoon. Half PPR, 2 receivers, 2 running backs, and a flex. Evans, London, CD, Tyreek, Achane, Jones, Swift, or Sharp. Wow, last week benched Evans. Well, that's because you have CD and Tyreek. And Tyreek just wet the bed. Yeah. Well, I'm glad you won. So let's see. Let's do better here. I think we're starting Evans and CD.
Yeah, Evans and CD. Achane and Jones.
And who to flex?
I don't know. I think I probably flex Tyreek.
Either him or London, I would think. I mean, London did get the Giants, but I mean, Kirk Cousins.
It's not. Yeah, he's got to battle Kirk Cousins. That's the problem. I mean, I don't love Tyreek Hill this week, but I don't know. I think I'm going to go Tyreek here at the flex.
Yeah, Tyreek is still fine. Let's go Tyreek. It's half PPR. Yeah, I think that gives the edge to Tyreek. All right. Corey Miller got the question down here. Amon-Ra and Connor won the week despite Tua. Yeah, I guess the addition of oh, that's right. Remember the sibling thing, Equanimous St. Brown. He brought back Amon-Ra.
He did. All right. Yeah, you can't drop him now. You have to just keep him.
Oh, exactly. You have to keep him. Cincy defense here, or Houston or Arizona? Houston gets the Chiefs. I mean, I know they could get Carson Wentz, but I think DTR is better to stream against than Carson Wentz and Andy Reid.
Yeah, it's either Cincinnati or Arizona. I'm going to go Cincy. They just came off a really, really nice game, and now they get DTR. Let's go Cincy.
Here you go. Looking forward to see Equanimous get a ring for your championship team. NTY once again. 10-team PPR. Here's the lineup. Baker, Nico, St. Brown, Cook, Connor, Keenan, Chiefs. If you can get the Bengals or Strange, who's more valuable? So I guess we're prioritizing here. The Chiefs against Houston.
Who is your tight end?
You know what? That's a good point. It doesn't say. I know he super chatted at the very, very beginning. So let me see if it says if it's a different team.
I mean, look. I'll say this: if you don't have to start a tight end, if you're in a wonderful, lovely league where you don't have to start a tight end, then I'm not picking up Strange, and I'll just get the Bengals.
Well, earlier it didn't say. He asked a question about Brenton Strange and Noah Gray and needing a tight end versus a defense, but yeah, I don't know. I would assume you need a tight end.
I mean, if you don't have a tight end,
right,
then it's Brenton Strange for sure over the Bengals. Because Chiefs defense is not bad this week. I know you say, oh, it's Houston and CJ Stroud, but that doesn't scare me. Man, CJ Stroud. This does not look like the same guy. He looks, you know what he looks like? He looks like he's seeing ghosts out there. Like he's just like
Sam Darnold.
Like he snaps the ball and he's just like, who's about to hit me? Like who's going to hit? Like, am I about to get sacked? You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know if you saw the thread. Jacob Gibbs did it today, showed a lot where it's like, man, Nico should have had a huge game, just running wide open. And CJ Stroud is just like, check it down to the tight end or whatever. Like, you know what I mean? He's just, dude, he looks, yeah, man. CJ Stroud has taken such a huge step back this year. So I'm not scared of playing the Chiefs against CJ Stroud. That's what I'm saying.
Well, yeah, and the Chiefs will get pressure and they'll get sacks. But you're right. I mean, if the Texans are going to do anything this offseason, they need to invest free agent, rookie, everything into offensive linemen because, he's running for his life. So with that said, I think Strange is the priority here because at least the Chiefs defense will get you points.
Right.
So go Strange.
Chiefs are serviceable.
Justin O'Grady, what's up? He's got Drake Garrett, T. Let's see, Christian, Gibbs, Chase Brown, McBride. So the question is, love Sammy Dimes. Well, you know, if someone deserves a nickname, it's him, not Danny.
I mean, he certainly deserves the Dimes nickname way more than Danny, who never should have. How did he ever get that nickname? That's disgraceful. This is a tough one. It's like, you want the quarterback in the way better matchup against the Saints, who hardly throws the ball because they just run it relentlessly with Josh Jacobs? Or do you want the quarterback in the worst matchup on the road against Seattle, but they throw the ball a ton because Kevin O'Connell? I think I'm probably going to go Darnold here.
Yeah, this comes down to, do you want the better actual real-life quarterback or the one who has more upside for fantasy? Also more downside, but still, Darnold isn't a guy who's going to pull a Jameis. He's probably not going to throw 3 interceptions do nothing for you. So yeah, I'm gonna go Darnold. It's great. I saw one stat today, the EPA per play, that Jordan Love is like the best in terms of actual efficiency for quarterbacks, but it's not translating to fantasy points because the touchdowns, the big games aren't there. He's efficient because they're not aggressive in the passing game. There's a difference. So anyways.
Yep.
MC Bowling. Jaden or Richardson? Philly? Okay.
This is insulting to Jaden Daniels. I know it's the Eagles, and I know he didn't have a huge game last time they played, but that was in Philly. Isn't this in Washington this time?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to go Jaden Daniels here. There's no way. If Anthony Richardson outscores Jaden Daniels, oh well. Oh well. Not doing it.
I mean, how good would the matchup have to be for me to want to start Anthony Richardson in the playoffs at this point? Maybe.
I don't even know. Like that's a good question. Like, who would Jaden Daniels have to be playing, and who would Anthony Richardson have to be playing for you to start Richardson over? Like, if Anthony Richardson was playing the Bengals and Jaden Daniels was playing, I don't even know who's like the best defense right now.
It's hard to say because it changes. Well, the Eagles are probably one of the best defenses, but still, no, I don't care. I'm not doing it.
Yeah,
like maybe if there was like those exhibition games where like a college team comes up and plays a pro team like the preseason. Well, they did that in baseball. I don't think they do that in football, but no,
you can't do that in football because college kids would get murdered on TV.
Yeah, like their head ripped off. It'd be like the well, I can't think of it. The longest yard, right?
Yeah.
like, okay, Harry Bum. Welcome back, Harry. Speaking of Monty or Mixon, why did I say Monty? Speaking of Mixon and Pollard busting, help. 12-team PPR in the semis. Got Allen. Okay. Needs 2 running backs. Got Mixon, Pollard, Etienne, Kendre, Tajay. Someone's been active on the waiver wire. Needs 2 receivers. CD, Judy, Myers, Thielen, Mooney. Good at McBride. Needs a flex.
All right. I'm going to go CD and Jacoby at wide receiver. Again, assuming Aiden O'Connell plays, which it sounds like he will. Yeah, I know Mixon busted and Pollard busted, but I'm not starting Etienne. I don't think I could start Kendre Miller over those guys, and I can't. I'm just going to go Mixon, Pollard. If they bust, they bust. I mean, I can't start Etienne. Yeah. And then I'll probably still flex Judy here over Thielen. That one is close with DTR, but I mean, come on. Judy's been so good. So CD Myers, Judy at flex, Mixon, Pollard for me.
Yeah. Again, we were to talk kind of at length about Mixon. So with these running
here it is. Kirk Cousins has been benched.
No kidding. Officially?
Yep.
Wow. Okay, that's a curveball. Did not see coming. Okay. Well, anyways, sorry, Harry. Does that make you feel better about Mooney? Probably not.
No. Wow.
So we are going to see Michael Penix Jr. Wow. I'm surprised. I didn't think they would go this route. I almost wonder because finally he got called out in public by name, right? Like Morris basically said he needs to be better. He meaning Kirk Cousins. I wonder if they had a little behind the scenes talk, Wow. Okay. Well, I know we could discuss this, but we still have catch up on our questions. I don't want to keep people waiting too long, but that is huge. Definitely gonna have some talk about that the rest of the way and tomorrow. So Abel, ironically, this is one of the next questions I see here. Wow. Tua or Michael Penix Jr.?
This one pretty much, yeah. I'm going Tua. I'm not gonna trust Michael Penix Jr. in his first NFL start. No way.
I mean, they're giving him his first start against the Giants. That's a pretty good matchup.
True.
I will say I do like Penix. I was a fan of his. He's got some talent. I don't know. I mean, I'm not starting him in my playoffs, but Okay. And then some people, speaking of the whole Philly Washington thing, Diego and Robert, you guys had asked about McLaurin. Well, the wide receiver start sit video, you can watch that, and we'll break it down for you in detail. So we don't have to get too deep into that now. Let's get to Bertrand, 950 or 850. Lost CMC, Mason, maybe Kamara. Luckily, you still have Jacobs, and the wide receivers are stacked. But you only have Etienne, Gus, and Tajay. You can't get Kendre Miller. Oh, okay. So he's going to try for Ford and Kendre. Yes, I would definitely go.
Yeah.
Well, who do you like better? Let's say Kamara is out. Ford or Kendre?
Probably Kendre, because who's taking touches from Kendre? I know the offense, but I mean, how good are we feeling about the Browns offense with DTR?
Right. Well, you know,
I think Kendre would be my number one.
Yeah, I would have said Ford. I did say Ford yesterday, but now DTR starting, which still kind of surprises me. Yeah, I think let's go Kendre. Yeah, you can start either of those guys over Etienne and Gus. Forget him.
Yeah.
Peter, Zhao, DK or Judy.
Even with DTR, I got to go Judy.
Yeah. And then, well, DTR, yeah, we didn't really talk about this. We don't know yet. It could be Sam Howell for Seattle. We might be completely off of DK Metcalf if it's Sam Howell.
True.
Njoku or Andrews?
Yeah, just go Andrews now. He's been good.
Yeah, go Andrews. Juice now. Defense, go Bills, Falcons, Colts.
It's tough not to just say Atlanta after that huge game last night. I mean, but Bills do get Patriots and Drake May. But I mean, Atlanta against the Giants. Like, what are you worried for? Like, you're worried for Neighbors making like some crazy contested catch in the end zone or something like that, right? Like, what do you really like? Yeah, I'm just gonna go Atlanta.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll go Atlanta too. Gab 06, Najee, Jason, non-PPR or DJ Moore.
Normally I would say Najee, but I don't think I can.
No, not this
Well,
week.
if it's Sam Howell, I'm going to go DJ Moore. If it's Geno against the Vikings, I'll probably go JSN. Well, I don't mind DJ Moore against the Lions. He had a big game against them last time.
Yeah, I think I might go DJ Moore either way. Let's go DJ Moore and hope he's the one who gets a touchdown, not Keenan Allen. Jenga is thin at running back. Swift, Ford, Sincere, if he even plays. Walker / Sharps, Kendre.
Yeah, I don't think Sincere is playing. Pretty sure he suffered a high ankle sprain. Man, if Kamara is out, I'll put Kendre number one. If Walker plays, I'll put him number two, and then I'll probably put Ford number three.
Yeah, well, same thing here. Kendre a little bit over Ford. Let's do that for now. Of course, you're going to have to definitely check the injury report here. It's not for sure that Kamara's out yet, but you never know. Bills or Falcons? Well, same thing. Go Falcons here. Jay Swole, Murray over Jaden Daniels.
No. I mean, Murray hasn't even been good.
Yeah, exactly. I can't do this. Can't do this. Flex Moore or Dunze or Pittman?
Assuming that's DJ Moore, is DJ Moore. If it's Elijah Moore, I don't. let's just hope it's DJ Moore, Jay Swole.
If it's Elijah Moore, it's a hard no. I would just go Pittman. Hopefully it's DJ Moore. Joe Estrada in the semis, very nice. So Love, Caleb, or Cooper Rush?
I'm going to go Love here. I know he doesn't have tremendous upside, but he's by far the better quarterback, and he gets the Saints. I'm going to go Love.
Yeah, with these choices, I can go Love. Garrett Wilson, Ladd, Harrison Downs, K9, pick 2.
I'm going to go Garrett Wilson and Ladd. Pretty comfortably here.
Yeah. Same here. And then tight end and Njoku, Kraft, or Strange.
I guess go Strange.
Going Strange. Then Broncos or Packers. Both good.
I'm going Packers.
Yeah. Packers it is. All right. Good luck, Joe. And then Rise, what is up? Also on the way to semis. Very nice. Yeah, James Cook. Man, if you fired him up, then good on you. That's good. Vikilo. Full PPR. 2 receivers, 2 running backs, tight end. Tight end or receiver. And then a flex. CD, DJ, BTJ, Pickens, Bowers, Kelsey, HN, Kyron, Garendo. And then a kicker question. And then a defense question.
Butker was terrible last week. I lost my matchup by 3 points because Butker got me -1. -1 from our kicker.
Because he missed like a really short one.
Yeah, you get negative points in our league because having kickers isn't bad enough. Let's give him negative.
That's funny. I mean, sorry.
If he made that field goal, we would have won. If he just makes that field goal, we would have won.
Well,
oh my God, I just thought about that. That's so. Why are kickers in fantasy? What a joke. Anyways. All right. Yeah, you can't. I don't care. Justin Tucker's terrible too. There's no better options. These guys suck. They both suck. Kickers suck. Why do we still play with kickers? Like, why do you guys hate? Why do you guys like pain and hate fun? Like, isn't fantasy football painful enough just as it is with like injuries and busts and try? Why do you want kickers in there? Why do you do this to yourselves? Anyways, 2 wide receivers, CD, BTJ. Cannot bench BTJ right now. CD, BTJ. 2 running backs, HN, Kyron.
And then it says tight end or a receiver. So
I'm assuming that's a flex, but you can't flex a running back, which is probably fine because I probably just flex. Well, I mean, I wouldn't mind flexing Garendo, but if you can't flex Garendo, then I guess DJ Moore.
Yeah, actually, I'm not sure if it's because, again, I'm looking at the commas here. It says tight end or receiver. I interpret that as like a thing. And then it says flex. Is that a separate position, or is it like the flex is a, you know what I mean? Like if it said W/T, like, okay, it's a receiver or tight end. I don't know.
Well, if one of your slots is tight end or wide receiver, then I'll go DJ Moore. And then if you have a flex, I'll go Garendo.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. And then I guess you're going Tucker?
No, I'm just not starting a kicker.
You're abstaining. You're gonna pick the or. Butker or Tucker going or.
Yeah, I'm picking the or. Anybody else. Literally, who cares?
And then it says Broncos or Packers, but points against don't count. So I'm assuming we're just looking for sacks and turnovers. In that case, well, either way, it's probably Green Bay.
Yeah, Green Bay.
All right. Luis Rodriguez has Purdy and Murray. Yeah, they were both bad last week. Trust Purdy more, but Murray has the better matchup. What say you?
I'll go Purdy. Yeah, I'm gonna go Purdy.
Yeah, Purdy can still put up some points against Miami. You know, they're not a complete shutdown defense. I will say too, some of those defensive statistics are skewed because of the basically 4.5 games where Tua didn't play and they scored the least amount of points in the entire NFL. Like, teams didn't have to pass on them. Teams didn't have to do anything, right? They didn't even have to score. So it is a little misleading. Like, I don't think their defense is as good as the stats suggest. But anyways, go Purdy. John B is curious. Have Connor Cook and Irving, Chase Sutton and Keenan. Thoughts on flex?
Well, I don't know who your flex options are here, but I think I have to play those 3 running backs. So
if you're sitting somebody, it's Keenan.
Yeah, I'm probably sitting Keenan, although I don't really want to sit Keenan this week, but yeah, I think I have to start those running backs. Too much upside this week.
Right. Yeah, I think that makes sense. Okay, so if it's 2-2 and 1, we'll go Connor Cook, Chase, Sutton, Irving. Joe Hill in the semis. 10-team standard. Walker, Shakir, Reed, or Waddle. Standard. I think this might partly depend too. Sam Howell's a quarterback, and Kenneth Walker coming off an injury. I still don't really want to start him.
I know, but Shakir in standard scoring, I guess. I mean, because I'm not going to start Reed or Waddle, that's for sure. So it's either Walker or Shakir. Right. Shakir in standard, I mean, I guess he could score, but yeah, I guess Shakir.
He's gotten a couple touchdowns lately. I don't think, and yardage wise, I would just go Shakir. Now let's see. Trying to make sure we don't skip over anybody like Isaiah. Okay, I know where Isaiah is. Seban Jr. Start 3. Judy, London, McConkey, Hill, Shakir, McMillan.
Man. This is actually really tough now.
Because, I mean, Judy obviously takes a hit with DTR quarterback. London should get a huge boost from having Kirk Cousins on the bench.
I don't know if I feel that way. I think McConkey might be the one I feel the best about here.
Yeah. And then Hill, it's like, who knows?
But I think out of this group, I still probably have to gamble on Tyreek, and I probably still have to gamble on Judy. I cannot. Look, if Penix comes in and is great, and maybe he just force feeds it to Drake London, okay, fine. But man, we're talking about first NFL start. Think about even think about Jaden Daniels this year in his first NFL start. He ran for a lot of yards, but he barely threw for anything. Like Terry McLaurin did nothing in that game. Caleb Williams was a complete disaster in his first start. Bo Nix, Drake. I mean, these guys were like, nah, this is first NFL start. I cannot do it. I cannot. If he comes through, great. Good for him. But man, there's a real risk here that London is an absolute disaster this week. So I'm just gonna go Judy, McConkey, and Hill.
Yeah, no, well, that's definitely true. Because here's the other thing: is thinking about it, his first start, but also they're playing the Giants. They're probably just going to sit back and run the ball quite a bit because number one, they can, and number two, they won't need to pass, and they'll probably try to be pretty conservative in passing. I mean, really,
Bijan's probably going to have 25 carries and 7 catches this week.
Yeah. So okay, Judy, McConkey, Hill. There we go. Seth is back. Seth Swirsky, what's up? Nice 12-2 record. All right. Got Burrow and Jamar. That might be part of the reason. HN and Henry, Cortland, Kittle, Waddle, Jaden Reed. Wow, Monty, injury. Needs 2 flex. Brenton Strange, Bateman, Ty Johnson, Noah Gray, and Malik Washington.
I don't know what the word is, but I'm something that Malik Washington is even rostered in any 12-team leagues.
Flabbergasted.
Yeah, that might be the word.
I'm actually a little more shocked here. You're saying you're 12-2, and from what I can tell here, you already have Waddle and Jaden Reed as your flexes?
Yeah, I'm flabbergasted by that too.
Right? I mean, the way I look at it, he already has Jamar and Cortland Sutton. He's got Henry and Achane. He's got Kittle. So are we swapping out Waddle and Jaden Reed for 2? Is that what we're doing? Because you can't need 2 flexes in addition to those 2, can you?
Oh, man. I hope not. I mean, I will say I'm not starting any of those guys over Jaden Reed as much as I'm down on Jaden Reed.
I might be willing to flex Brenton Strange over Jalen Waddle.
Yeah, I'm just debating between him and Bateman. Man, how are you? I'm impressed. 12-2 with this team. Impressive. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna go Bateman, Jaden Reed. Hope Bateman hits on a long touchdown.
Yeah, that's fine. J Drummer 91. Sit. AJ, JJT, or Jason. It doesn't matter who's quarterback. JSN has to be the one that sits, doesn't he?
Yeah, when you got this group, I don't even care if it's Geno Smith. He's got to sit.
And then Bills or Packers defense.
I'm going Packers, although I think they're both good this week.
Right.
Drake, man. I mean, the Bills do give up points and stuff, so.
G also wants to know, pick up Strange over Njoku or Hawk.
I don't think I could do it over Hawk. I think I'm just going to roll Hawk.
It's close. This is where it gets close for me. I mean, I do like Strange. I know we don't want to get carried away. I would definitely play him over Njoku. I'll say that again. But Hawkinson, I don't know. It's risky, but I don't hate it. I think you could if you want to take a chance for some upside. If you're just going to play it safer, you can just go Hawk. All right. Next is Mr. Jace Cool 30. Wow. Okay, another league here in the chip for week 16. How do you feel about that? By the way, we've seen this a couple times. Championship week right here, right now.
Yeah, I don't like it because the fantasy football season is already too short. Now you just shorten it even more. Why? Why make it so short?
Yeah, I'm just trying to think like what. Usually nothing too funky goes on in week 17 anymore, right? So I mean, it's fine. There's nothing wrong with it, but like in baseball, we saw that too. Right? There were some teams that were like, "Oh, my playoffs started," and there was like a month left. Like, okay.
I mean, that makes sense because I mean, the baseball, even in fantasy, I was like, "Wait, we have how many weeks?" It's like three. It's like 3 football seasons. It's like 3 fantasy. Like really, it is. It really is. Maybe not 3, maybe 2. It's like 2 fantasy football seasons.
It is a marathon. All right. So, anyways, for Mr. J School, got Baker, Achane, Jacobs, Smitty, Sun God, Bowers, Chase Brown, Packers, and Boswell. The bench is only Amari, Tua, and Rashad White.
I mean, the only one I might consider is Rashad White, but who am I? I'm not playing him over Achane, Jacobs, or Chase Brown. So, nah, you're good.
And they also asked him to pick up Ford, Watson, or McMillan.
You don't even. I mean, you can if you want, but you're never going to start him. I mean, you could drop Cooper for anybody, literally anybody.
Yeah, do it just to do it. And obviously now, I think you could just roll with Baker. Well, it's championship week, right? Like, what you don't need Tua. Just drop Tua.
Yeah, you don't even need a bench.
No.
Like if somebody right now told me they were dropping Amari Cooper for a backup kicker, I'd say go for it. Go backup kicker, do it.
Wow, those are strong words for you. Yeah, I mean, it shouldn't matter, but like, hey, you never know. Like, I'm not putting this. I don't believe in superstition and jinxes, anyways. But what if Jacobs like twists his ankle? During practice this week, you need a running back. Okay, drop Tua, drop Cooper, pick up Ford. That's fine. Jim K. Herbert or I don't want to say it.
I'm going Rodgers. I'm going Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
It's week 16, 2024, and I'm going Aaron Rodgers, Devontae Adams. Why not? On the Jets.
Yep. Yeah, go Aaron Rodgers. And then 2 receivers in the flex, Puka Higgins, Evans, BTJ, Sutton, Devontae Smith.
Wow.
That's a strong roster.
I think you got to go Puka. Man, how do you bench Higgins, but how do you bench BTJ? It's probably crazy, but I am tempted to play BTJ over Puka, but probably can't. Puka, Evans, Higgins, BTJ. Oh, man.
Trying to come up with a compelling reason why you could sit T. Higgins, but I can't because it's the Browns. And
It's the Browns. But, man, how do you sit BTJ?
yeah, I'm thinking I am going to go BTJ over Higgins just because his target share has been more steady.
Yeah.
Barely for the last 2 weeks. But, yeah. Puka Evans, BTJ. Let's just do it.
Man, that's crazy.
And thank you for the membership, Jim, again.
Yes, thank you.
And welcome back, Ashley Gomez. Flex 2, Shakir, Myers, JMO, Garendo, and then Baker Hurts. I mean, I know we like Baker this week. You can't sit Hurts, though, can you?
You cannot sit Hurts. No, let's not do this again. Didn't we do this last week where everybody was like, Tua Hurts, Tua Hurts, Tua Hurts. Tua's been so good. Like, nah. You just start Hurts. Like, if Hurts is just one of those guys that if he busts, you say, oh, well, he busted this week. Unfortunate, but what are you going to do? Half PPR, I think I like Garendo the best in this group in half PPR, honestly. And then I'm going to go Jacoby second, assuming Aiden O'Connell does play. So I'm going to go Myers and Garendo.
Yep. I'll go Myers and Garendo here, too. And yes, stick with Hurts. All right, G-Mac going against Josh Allen, or start lighting candles early.
Light some candles.
How do you feel about Rico? And for the flex, Keenan, Thielen, or JMO?
I would probably go, assuming it's PPR or I'm going to go Keenan. The thing about Dowdle is Dowdle's been really good putting up yards, but where's the touchdown upside? Like, there's not a lot of pass catching upside, not a lot of touchdown upside. I'm going to go Keenan.
Right. Thielen's still a solid floor, but we saw even when the Bears and Caleb Williams look horrific, Keenan Allen's still coming through. Just keep going, Keenan. NTY does have a tight end. It's Zach. It was Zach.
Yeah, it gets strange. Ertz might not even play. It gets strange.
Right. Jay Park. Start 2, Garrett Wilson, Tyreek, Addison, Shakir.
I think Garrett Wilson will be 1. Excuse me. Now, Addison's another tough one. Didn't have a big game. Didn't have a bad game, right? It was okay, like 13 points or something like that.
Yeah, it was solid.
But, I mean, he's had some monster games. Shakir's been solid. And there's Tyreek Hill.
You know, I don't want to base my decision too much just based off last week. But this Niners defense has looked a lot better the last 2 weeks. They've looked like what they should have looked like all year, right? And I know they're at home, but still, Tyreek Hill, very risky. I think I'm feeling better about Addison.
Yeah, I think I am too. And I'm starting to wonder if Tyreek Hill's lost a step. I mean, he did not get a lot of separation against the Texans.
All right, there you go. Sitting Tyreek. We're still getting to the rest of the super chats. We're not too far behind, but let's do a couple of the we have return of Royale Flush. Welcome back. It's been a while. 8-team, half PPR, Hawker Andrews.
I'm going to go Andrews, more touchdown upside.
Yeah, and then super flex. Interesting. Anthony Richardson, AJ Brown, or Rico Dowdle.
I'm just going to go AJ Brown here. Just give me AJ Brown.
Yeah, why not? It's an 8-teamer.
Yeah. You don't have to super flex a QB.
There you go. And then Leo Ramirez, Mooney, Thielen, Devontae Smith, 1 receiver, 1 flex. Who sits?
You got to sit Mooney now with I can barely feel good about London. You can't start Mooney now with the rookie. I mean, look, maybe they have a connection or something, but let's not find out in such an important game.
No. And then also Packers, Bills, or Steelers. You
can't do Steelers. It's Packers slightly over Bills.
There you go. And then let's see, one more. Yeah, I saw that. Everyone in the crazy the Cousins news. Well, it's too early to talk about Kelsey. All right, let's go back to the LA 5150. Is it worth picking up Ford, dropping Tyrone Tracy, or Isaiah Pacheco?
I mean, I think you could. I mean, again, the question I'm going to ask you is, I mean, you got Bashan and Rachaad White, so you could use some running back help. I mean, you never know. If something happens to, let's pray nothing happens to Bijan, but if something happens to Rachaad White, or if Bucky just completely takes over the backfield again, if he's healthy and Rachaad White, barely touches the ball, I'm not dropping Pacheco. I think there's still too much potential for Pacheco. I think you could drop Tracy for Ford if you want.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, Tracy, because it looks like he is still splitting touches, and Ford doesn't mean he will be, should be clearly the lead back there. Man, this would have been a lot easier if it weren't DTR quarterback. I think you could do this. I think you could drop Tracy. I wouldn't drop Pacheco. So NTY now has a question related to Penix. Streaming the Giants defense? No, I'm not doing that.
I mean, they may not be the worst option, but they're still the Giants. And again, you got to think that Falcons are. I mean, even last night, they were very conservative. I saw something like they only threw the ball once on 1st and 10 the whole night. Like, you could already tell the Falcons are like, they have no trust in Kirk Cousins. Yeah, there's probably not going to be a lot of opportunities here for the Giants against Michael Penix. Like, how many passes is he going to attempt? 25? 20?
Yeah, I'm not doing it. And also, like I said earlier, I think, I'm not worried about Penix going out there and, throwing 3 picks and, getting sacked 10 times. I don't think he's that kind of quarterback. He's a pretty smart passer. It's going to be a conservative game plan. So, no. It's just funny, that move. It makes the Falcons front office simultaneously look brilliant and moronic at the same time. Like, this is good job drafting Penix. You need him after all. Why the hell did you sign Kirk Cousins for all that money and then draft a quarterback? But then, yeah, Kirk Cousins was coming off an injury. He's getting up there. I mean, I know compared to some other quarterbacks in the league, he's not that old. He's definitely not young.
Yeah, I think they were probably hoping that, like, Cousins, they could, that he wouldn't be this terrible and Penix could sit behind him for a year or two. But they're probably at a point now where it's like, hey, we still have a chance here. Let's put him in there and see if he can do something.
Crazy.
But yeah, that was definitely one of. I mean, every draft year there's always shockers. That was definitely one of the biggest ones this year for sure.
Oh, that's the biggest one in a while. All right, Wang, full PPR quarterback, Mahomes, Darnold.
Got to go Darnold. Even if Mahomes plays less than 100%, can't feel good about Mahomes. Let's just go Darnold.
Right. Aaron Jones or Ramondre Stevenson.
Aaron Jones.
4 receivers: Jefferson, Nico. Yes. DK Zay or Jacoby Myers.
I'm just gonna go Jefferson, Nico, Zay, and Myers. It just cannot feel good about DK Metcalf. Even if it's Geno Smith, just can't feel good. Cannot feel good.
Yeah, exactly. Jonnu Smith or Strange?
Yeah, I'm just playing Jonnu Smith. He's been 5 straight games. He's been unbelievably good. I'm not benching him. Not doing it.
All right, there you go. And Sandy McMurray, some more home league rivalry going on. Playing my son for the championship.
All right.
18 PPR, Mayfield, Achane, Jacobs, Jefferson, Nakua, Jonnu, BTJ, Broncos, and Dicker. That's pretty good. Got Keenan, Dowdle, Kelsey, Mooney, Mahomes, Nick, Thielen on the bench.
Nah, you're good. You can't. Yeah, you're good. Good luck. Good luck, Sandy.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good team. Again, it's an 8-teamer. I'm assuming in the championship. Your son also has a very good team. So,
right. Yes.
There's not much else you can do. Sit back and my one thing I wonder out loud is if Mahomes plays, do you go Kelsey over Jonnu? I don't think so.
No way. No, I'm just going Jonnu. I mean, what's the lowest? Like, you look at Jonnu Smith over the last 5 games. I think he's 13 PPR points is his lowest, and he's gone like 20 in every other game.
Yeah.
Like, look, he's one of these guys. I mean, he's not like Trey McBride or something, but right now, like, yeah, you look at his last 5 games, 28, 23, 21, 13. That's his bust game. 19.8. Like, if he busts, he busts. Oh well. I'm not benching this guy. Can't bench this guy.
No, and Kelsey could bust too. All right. Good luck, Sandy. Sam Hernandez, what's up? Have Mahomes. Would you keep him?
Well,
or
you
drop?
can't drop him for Jameis Winston.
Well, not Jameis Winston, that's for sure.
I got news for you, Sam. Jameis Winston is not starting this week. He's been benched.
Just like Kirk Cousins.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to let you say it so I don't have to. Who would you?
Yeah, I am sadly starting Aaron Rodgers over Patrick Mahomes in week 16 of fantasy football because fantasy football is pain.
This is even if Mahomes plays.
Yep.
All right. Horrible. There it is.
Vomited in my mouth a little bit right there.
Yeah, no kidding. We have Jerry, 14-man. Downs or McMillan?
I'll just gamble on McMillan. At least he has upside. And it is a good matchup against the Cowboys.
Yeah, there's no guarantee. He's going to score again, but the target share has been promising. Yeah, he's got Baker. Baker's dealing. Anthony Richardson is not. So there you go. Western Goods. Pick 3. Lamb, Nico, Cup, Jacoby.
I think you got to start Lamb and Nico. Can I really bench Cup for Jacoby, even with Aiden O'Connell? Oh, man. Why Cooper Kupp? Why? This is tough. Like, what if Cooper Kupp had like 6 catches for 60 yards in that game, right? Not like anything special, but didn't kill you. Like, would we just be blindly saying Kupp over Jacoby?
Yeah, probably.
So shouldn't we probably still be saying Kupp over Jacoby?
I think I am still going Kupp over Jacoby.
Yeah, Lamb, Nico, Kupp.
I mean, I don't think it's going to be a 0. It's just one of those games, right? And, it's not like a squeaky wheel thing, but, he's going to try to get him involved, right? Kupp will get targeted. So I'm going to go the first 3, Broncos or Colts.
I mean, I know Colts versus Tennessee, but, I mean, I know they got 3 interceptions against Bo Nix, but, man, I don't know. They're not good. I think I'll just go Broncos.
Yeah, I'll go Broncos too. All right, so I'm kidding, but not kidding. Bizzleman, would you go Penix over Herbert?
No, I'm not starting Penix. If Penix does something great, okay. Like, again, what did Caleb Williams do his first start? What did Bo Nix do his first start? What did Jaden Daniels do Jaden Daniels did have a nice fantasy game, but he ran for like 60 yards and 2 touchdowns in that game. Michael Penix is not going to run for 60 yards. What did Michael Penix have in college last year? Like
rushing yards?
Like nothing?
No.
Very few?
Like 12. I don't know.
Yeah.
I made that up.
I'm not starting Penix.
The thing with Penix, I don't feel like he's going to have like a Will Levis type of performance. I think he'll probably have like a Bryce Young type of performance. And I don't mean last week Bryce Young. I mean like what he's been doing. Like he was efficient, threw for 169 yards and 1 touchdown with no interceptions.
Yeah. Maybe he throws for a touchdown. So if they let him throw for a touchdown, that's the thing.
Big Man Fishing is back. All right, got the win. QB is JD. 2 running backs, 2 receivers in the flex. Connor, B-Rob, Irving, Garendo, Terry, DK Myers, Harrison, Judy, Jennings, McBride. Can get Green Bay. Yeah, I think you should go Green Bay.
Yeah, Green Bay over. I mean, Baltimore's not bad this week against Russ and no Pickens, but
The Raids dropped Thielen. That's fine.
wow, okay.
He wasn't that bad.
I'm going to go Connor and Irving at running back. I think I'm going to go Terry and Jacoby at wide receiver. Flex is going to be tough between B-Rob, Garendo, and Judy. It's PPR. Oh, man, that is tough. That is very tough. I mean, this is the 8-teamer. I was gonna, Garendo gives you a floor, but you need more than a floor, right? In an 8-teamer. I don't know. Maybe just still gamble on Judy. Ah, man, this is tough.
I'm tempted to go. I'm tempted to just flex Garendo and see what happens. Maybe he rips off a long run.
I'm okay with Garendo.
All right, there we go. Okay, so running backs are Connor and Irving for sure. Receivers, Terry. Who was it? Jacoby? No.
Yeah, Jacoby. Connor Irving, Terry, Jacoby, Garendo at the flex.
Sure. Why not? All right. Hudson Lamar. Judy, Zay, Garendo, or Dowdle at the flex?
Well, we just said Garendo over Judy, so I guess we got to go Garendo. Because I'm not putting Dowdle or Zay over him, so
right.
Garendo.
Yeah, why not? Garendo is fine. Zay is very risky. Kelsey or Jonnu at tight end?
Jonnu. Yeah, I just got done talking about how good Jonnu is. Can't bench Jonnu.
Exactly. This is good. We don't get. I always like to put up unique leagues or guillotine leagues, especially. We have the one, the only Andy Dick is in the house. Barely surviving a guillotine league. Hey, you're still alive, and it's week 16. You're doing something right. You got Joe Burrow. I love these. This is why I love guillotine leagues. He's got Joe Burrow, but has a chance to pick up Josh Allen. Jonnu Smith is available. Would you drop Kittle for Jonnu Smith? So, Burrow or Josh Allen?
You got to go Josh Allen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the dude is literally the highest. I don't know how to word it. His last 2 games are the most fantasy points. I don't even know how they can research. Who researches this? Who's even able to figure out this data? But that the greatest 2-game stretch in the history of fantasy football. Better than LaDainian Tomlinson ever did. Better than any, anybody. Best 2-game stretch in the history of fantasy football.
It's crazy.
You have to just take Josh Allen.
Right. Exactly. And if you don't get him, oh well, I'll have to settle for Joe Burrow. I don't think that'll make a big difference here. But what about Jonnu Smith and Kittle? That one's a little closer. I mean, I think this week I have to put Kittle ahead of Jonnu Smith. So I wouldn't pick up Jonnu Smith.
Yeah, I'd start Kittle over Jonnu still.
All right. There you go. Space Cadet. This is a pretty easy one. Achane or Sharps?
Achane.
And then also Thielen, Devonta Smith, or T. Higgins?
T.
All right. I'm saving this one. Are you ready? Boomer, a serious question. Wants to know how the Cousins benching might affect Younghoe Koo and his value.
Well, Younghoe Koo is hurt, so don't start Younghoe Koo.
Oh, see, I didn't even know that.
I could tell last night because they punted from like the 38-yard line. I'm like, okay, he's obviously hurt. And then I saw something today. And I'd see people asking, like, how is Josh Allen and Jonnu Smith on waiver wires? This is a guillotine league. You want to explain to people how Guillotine League works? Because I see people going like, "That's insane!" Like, did you pay people to drop those guys? Explain how a Guillotine League works. So for the, well, I'm sure a lot of people have no idea. I've never even heard of it, honestly.
Oh, that's true. It's a very niche kind of thing, and actually, I didn't play in a Guillotine League this year, which I wonder why. I regret that, but I love Guillotine Leagues. They're fun as long as they last. Okay, so it's like it sounds. With the guillotine, teams get chopped, right? Basically dead every week. The lowest scoring team is dead. That's it. They're done. And all their players get dropped out into the pool for waiver wire and they get picked up. So by the time you get to week 16, there's only, I don't know how long yours last, if it goes all season, but there might be 2 or 3 teams left. So yeah, the teams that have some of the best players in the entire league, they're going to drop those players. So the last 2 teams standing basically get their pick of any player they want almost, except for who they've already had. So you're going to have the best possible team, you and your opponent. That's why. So every player at some point, other than the final 2 teams standing, all those players are going to be dropped at some point. Yep. So you just basically have to not be last. That's all you're doing. And there are some really, really, really good teams that get cut because of bye weeks, because of guys, Cooper Kupp, Tyreek Hill.
Yep.
That's it. You're dead. So
yep.
It's interesting. It's fun until you get chopped.
It is. It's fun.
All right. This is Mark Evans paid his hard-earned money of 99 cents to ask this question, so we're going to put it up. Out of both my leagues, which came first, chicken or egg?
I don't even know how to answer this, to be honest.
We're gonna miss you, Mark.
I don't even have a witty comeback for this.
If he said he's done, I suck at fantasy football. I hope you're not done, Mark. Come on.
Yeah, come on. I get it. It sucks. I lost a matchup because Harrison Butker couldn't make a 29-yard field goal on Sunday. And because in that league, I don't just not get those points, I lose 4 points for that. So it was literally a 7-point swing in a league that I lost by 3. Even if he didn't lose the point, even if he just didn't get 0 for it, I still would have won. I understand the frustration of fantasy football and how angry you get. But if you step back and really think about it, you really don't have much control over fantasy football because you're relying on another human being in a very physical, violent contact sport to do what you are expecting them to do, right? Like if you put Cooper Kupp in your lineup and he gets a 0, it's not your fault that he got a 0. It's not, some idiot fantasy expert on a YouTube stream's fault that he got a 0 and told you to start Cooper Kupp. You know what I mean? It's like, it's just the game we play. It's like I used to play poker, I guess, professionally, and the mental part of it was why I quit, because even in poker, you can make the right decision, the right read, and somebody lucks out on you, and you lose hundreds of dollars in an instant. Hundreds of dollars just gone, and you have to have the mental fortitude to be like, hey, that's what I think really separates the best poker pros from the wannabes, is they just have that mental fortitude to be like, oh well, on to the next hand. On to the next hand. I'm going to keep playing good poker. It's fantasy football. We want to win every year, of course. It's frustrating when we don't. It's aggravating when our guys bust. But at the same time, it's still fantasy football. Keep playing. Come on, keep playing. Keep playing.
Yeah, if it's not fun, if it really stops being fun, then there's no point because it's not
right. Well,
anyway. But
that is
it's fun if you think of it as what it is, and it's supposed to be. It's just fun. Yes. But look, he asked, let's answer. Lightning round, no thinking, chicken or egg. Go.
Chicken.
That's why I was going to say chicken. All right. And we must be at that point of the show. Turd Ferguson is back. Hawk Tua or Stafford?
Yeah, I'm going to go Tua. I know he just busted hard, but that didn't sound good. I know he just laid. I know we're going to get comments. Now. I know he just laid an egg.
Not a chicken.
Mark's question. But Stafford on the road against the Jets, I don't want to risk it. I'm just going to go with Tua.
It is Talk to a Tuesday, isn't it? I don't know.
Is that a thing now? Oh man, what a world! What a world we live.
Doug Fenton.
What is wrong with our world?
I know. Doug Fenton, AR, Murray, or Stafford?
I'm gonna go Murray here.
Yeah. Basically not the other two. David Aguilar. One running back, one receiver. Brees, B-Rob, Flowers, Neighbors.
I'm gonna go Brian Robinson and Neighbors. Although I will say it actually is close with Brees this week because not a good matchup for Brian Robinson against the Eagles. And Braylon Allen is hurt, so they might have to give the ball more to Brees than they want to. That one is close for me, honestly. But Neighbors a wide receiver.
Yeah, Neighbors are wide receiver. It's just really a bad matchup for B-Rob against the Eagles. I might just go Brees.
That's fine. I'm fine with Brees too, honestly.
And then Gersahapal wants to know if we can get Jonnu or Njoku. Yeah. Yes.
If Jonnu is out there, get him.
And let's see. Almost caught up. Oh, Yvonne Reboyar is here. Help me, please. 2 receivers, 2 running backs, 2 flex. Got Mixon, JT, Cook, Bucky, Amon-Ra, Neighbors, Jason, Tyreek, and Garrett Wilson. It's full PPR. So 2, 2, and 2.
All right, I'm going to go James Cook. Oh, man, no, I think Nixon. Ugh. I'm going to go Amon-Ra and man, there's 2 flexes here. That might make it easier. Let's go Mixon, James Cook, Amon-Ra, Neighbors, and I'm going to flex Irving and Garrett Wilson. Oh, this is
here, JT. You're not going JT.
First of all,
is this a punishment thing? Is this like a rage bench?
I actually did. You see? I think Keith posted it in the Discord. He tagged me. I think it was ESPN or Yahoo looked, I guess, all the matchups that had Jonathan Taylor where they lost by however many points that touchdown cost them. And it was like 8% of players lost because of that. That's brutal. Imagine watching that and you're like, JT, oh my God, big touchdown. And then like 5 minutes later, it's like, no, instead of a touchdown, you actually get a fumble. You don't get a touchdown and then you get a fumble on top of it.
I didn't even think about the fumble part, but yeah, you're right.
Yeah, that's like an 8-point swing right there, right? Because it's like instead of the 6 points for the fumble or for the touchdown, you lose those 6 points and another 2 for the fumble. Terrible. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just gonna go Mixon, Cook, Irving, Amon-Ra, Neighbors, Garrett Wilson.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. Okay, Muscle March Fitness. Which receivers? AJB, Higgins, Evans, JSN, or BT? Probably BTJ.
Yeah, 3 of these. I think oh man, I think I'm gonna go AJ Brown, Evans, and Brian Thomas Jr. I hate having Higgins on the bench, but man, Mac Jones is just locked into Brian Thomas Jr. I think he's got to be over Higgins. So AJ Brown, Evans, and Brian Thomas Jr.
Yeah, I mean, Higgins, hard to bench, but in this case, you can. All right, now we have Carson. Sit one. Saquon.
What is this?
Again?
This can't be real. This cannot be real.
Come on. All right, come on. Well, we'll do it. Saquon, Jacobs, HN, Nico, Chase, and Puka.
Honestly, it's between Puka and Nico for me.
Wow, Puka, because I'm surprised. I didn't think he would be on the.
Well, my only worry for Nico is CJ Stroud, man. Like, what are you doing, dude? I know Nico had 2 touchdowns last week, but only had 17 yards.
Like, what he's doing, he's only throwing it to Nico. But then again, Stafford's only throwing to Puka these days.
Yeah. Puka on the road against the Jets. How do you have to sit? How do you have this? This is not a real. There's no way this is real. I think he just comes in here to troll us.
It could be. Well, like if you have to pick one, I'll just pick Puka.
Yeah, fine. Just sit Puka.
And then David Aguilar needs a flex. Shakir, Walker, Harrison, Tracy, or Ford.
I mean, no, I'll probably just go Shakir here. He's been good.
That's funny. Go Phil Hellmuth on everyone. You know Phil Hellmuth, I'm sure.
Yeah, no, I never did that. I kept it inside, but man, it's tough. It's tough when like I remember just real quick. I remember one day, and I was literally living off of poker money. So like this was my rent money, and I went down to this casino here about 30 minutes away. Very soft games, very easy games, and just this particular day, I just kept, and I kept running in. Like I would have like a really good hand, like I would get like ace queen, and the flop would come like ace queen whatever, and then somebody would make a flush on the river or something, and it was just like that all day, and I lost I think like $700 in a day, and this is back like, losing $700 in a day is a lot of money no matter what, but this is back in like the early 2000s when $700 was actually worth a lot more, and I just remember driving home that day like almost throwing up because this was my rent money. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough.
So that makes fantasy football decisions seem a lot less important.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, honestly, though, I feel very like if it's my team and I lose, I'm like, and I make a bad decision, like, yeah, I hate it, and I'm mad, but it's like whatever. But I feel bad when I tell people to start like player X over player Y, and player Y like player X busts and player Y goes off. I definitely feel bad about that for sure.
Right. Well, especially sometimes people come on here and they say big money league, or I'm going to win like $1,000. You're like, oh, okay. Well, don't want to tell you the wrong thing now.
Exactly.
But we don't know. We're doing the best we can to figure out what might happen. So I don't remember what we said here. We need to flex here. Shakir?
Yeah, I went Shakir.
Shakir, yeah. And then Harry with another one. Another semi, 10-team in half. Hurts, Puka Evans, Bijan Connor, and Joku. If he plays, pick 2. A Seattle running back, a Seattle receiver. Jennings, Ladd, Pickens. Kicker and defense. Pick up Green Bay defense, yes. For tight end, Kincaid, Hawk, Strange, Muth.
Yeah, I think I go Hawk at tight end. And for flex, I'm going to go Ladd and Jennings, unless Geno plays. If Geno plays, I'll go Ladd and JSN.
That's fair. Ladd for sure. Might go Seattle. They're at home, right? That's the Vikings. Yeah, I guess. If Geno's good to go, you can go Jason and Ladd.
Yeah, if not, I'll go Jennings.
And then defense, go Green Bay at tight end. I think even if Njoku's cleared, I would still go somebody else, probably.
Actually, I might go.
I'm gonna go Strange.
Oh man, I was gonna say maybe Muth.
Well, Muth is viable at the Ravens, but this depends on Pickens if Pickens plays.
Yeah, I'm assuming Pickens isn't playing.
Okay, now I'm a little concerned because I just saw Mark Evans with another super chat.
All right,
let's see. Going down here. Oh, let's help Andrea first. How's it going?
Oh, no, I know. Okay, we're gonna get so many JD questions because everybody's gonna be worried about the last time they played the Eagles. But if you remember, okay, I'm not gonna sit here and act like it's not a tough matchup. It is. But if you remember, that was back when he was dealing with his rib injury and he was hardly running during that time. If you look at Jaden Daniels, like remember he had that stretch there where he barely ran the ball for a few weeks. What was it? He went, he had 5 rushing yards against the Steelers, 18 against the Eagles, and then since then he's had 74, 34, and 66. So, and Kyler Murray, like I know he gets the Panthers, but who cares? Who even cares? He's been so bad.
Yeah, exactly. Just ride or die with JD.
Yeah.
Okay, then Hudson Lamar also asking about Daniels. Stroud or
Stroud's
Goff?
been even worse. Like even if Stroud has like one of his best games, it probably won't be as good as a Jaden Daniels bust game. Stroud has been so bad. So bad.
Yeah, just go. Definitely go Daniels here. And then Carl. What's up, Carl? Half, 3 receivers, 2 running backs, 2 flex between all of these guys.
Okay, 3 receivers are going to be, Higgins, AJB, and then Addison or DJ Moore. That's tough. I think I'm going to go DJ Moore against the Lions at home. Higgins, AJB, DJ Moore, but that one is really tough. There's 2 flexes, so we might still do Addison. 2 running backs. Yeah, 2 running backs are going to be Kyron Connor. 2 flexes are going to be Addison, and I'll probably go Garendo.
Yeah, London can drop out of the conversation here. There you go, Carl. And then he said he barely got by 4 points. 4 points. Okay. Carson saying he was not trolling. He just says he has the best team and still not the top team. I don't know how deep your league is, but
yeah, I don't even know if somebody could have a better team than that, but okay.
Carl is now saying he lost every tight end that he's ever played. Strange. Yeah, go Strange.
Yeah, go Strange.
All right. That's it. I think we're caught up. Although I did. Oh, I don't know. I don't think we missed anything. We'll go back. This is a tough one. We'll put this up. Mark Rodriguez, Mahomes or Tua?
I think I'm just going to go Tua. He's at home. Yeah, very worried about Mahomes with the ankle.
Yeah, I mean, he might play, but I don't think you can feel good about him, even if he does. That it would make sense for them to just sit him, right? Get right for Christmas. Oh, okay, here we go. Danny Angel. I knew there was another super chat. Should I go with Goff or Darnold?
I'm gonna go Darnold. I know it's tough because Goff just had a huge game, but on the road in Chicago, that is as tough as it can get. So I'm just gonna go Darnold here.
Right. Still like Darnold, and then at the flex, Jennings or JT?
I know JT did the inexcusable last week, but I think I still got to go JT.
He still was good other than that. I mean, he ran well. He got the touches.
Right.
So. And it's not a bad matchup at all. So I'm still starting JT. And then Carson also wants to know Broncos or Packers.
Packers.
Packers it is. Both good. Yvonne Robillard has Njoku, waivers or Kincaid and Strange.
I'm very worried we're going to be irrationally high on Strange this week, but I'm going Strange.
I'm going with it. There's a reason we're high on him. Let's go Strange. There's no guarantees. Like, trust me, I'm not guaranteeing a big game. I'm not calling him a boom, but although actually I might pick him for him. But anyways. Willie Snyder, he says we got all 3 of his teams to the second round. All right.
Wow, awesome. We didn't do anything.
Well,
we didn't do anything.
I guess then vicariously we get championship through him. Have Goff and Herbert. Should I drop Herbert for Drake May?
I mean,
maybe.
I think I would just roll Goff over both of them, though. Honestly.
Yeah. I mean, I think I could go Drake May over Herbert, but Goff is probably a better choice. So there we go. And then Carl actually had another question. Kyler over Love.
No, I'm just going to go Love. I mean, maybe Kyler comes through against the Panthers, or maybe he continues to be one of the most frustrating players in fantasy. Love's got the Saints. Just going to go Love.
Yeah, really don't have to trust Kyler in the playoffs. So with that said, Yvonne wants to know Kyler or AR.
Well, here I'll go Kyler because Richardson, I mean, he hasn't even been frustrating. He's just been bad.
Right. Exactly. This is the choice, then yeah, go Kyler. And last but not least, Carl again. Let's keep it up. Exactly. Let's everyone keep getting those wins rolling on through the playoffs. So we'll know more tomorrow. Most of the teams that are going to be lined to play on Sunday will be practicing. We'll get some injury updates, and who knows what will happen. I mean, we have so many quarterbacks now all of a sudden getting benched. I wouldn't be surprised we hear something else new tomorrow. So check in with us tomorrow. That's right. What's up, Julio? Dropping in at the last minute. Oh, he got a W. We drop Hawk for McMillan.
No. I mean, unless you like need McMillan to start this week, but otherwise, no.
No, I don't think you can do that. All right, so start sit videos have already started to come out. More will come out each and every day. Oh, there you go. That's what I was waiting for. There you go. 20%. We just earned 20%.
To a bar. To a bar with fantasy. What a bar with fantasy endgame on it. I'm not sure what that means. Like you're gonna spend 20% of your winnings at a bar in honor of fantasy endgame.
That works. Spread the word. We'll
That
take
works.
the free. All right, hold on. Texas Pete just dropped one. Scored 168. Needs 221. CD, Juwan, Evans, Myers, Jacobs, Chuba, Rico, Pollard, Thielen, and then defenses.
All right, I'm gonna go CD and Evans, Jacobs and Chuba. I'm gonna flex Jacoby Myers, assuming it is Aiden O'Connell, which it sounds like. And then on defense, I'm gonna go Atlanta.
There you go. That was easy. Almost too easy. All right. Yeah, that looks good. All right. Good luck, Pete. But yeah, guys, join us tomorrow. We'll be back for another nice long stream. Help you get set. Go ahead and grab your waivers and put your claims in now. Remember, you had to buy. You're in first place. You got a better projection. Whatever. Keep on top of it. Trust me. Still be active. Don't just sit back and wait. Oh, wait, hold on. One more. The kilo again. PPR 2 flex, DJ Moore, Pickens, Garendo, Bowers.
I'm just gonna go DJ Moore and Garendo. I know Bowers definitely gets a bump with Aiden O'Connell, but I still don't think I could flex him over those guys personally.
What if Pickens is cleared tomorrow? Full practice, he's good to go.
I probably would go Pickens and DJ Moore in PPR.
Yeah, that's my only thing is it's not sounding good for Pickens, but we don't know. He might play. Yeah, this is tricky. It is PPR. Yeah, right now let's just say DJ Moore and Garendo, and then we'll see. Okay, Nemesis is asking Stafford or Goff.
Goff.
And then Atlanta or Cincinnati defense.
Atlanta.
Crazy. Okay. And now we're done. All right, guys. Check out all the videos. Hit the like button. Subscribe if you haven't already. Turn notifications on. We'll see you all tomorrow.